Hello, everybody. Hello, it is me, Andy, and it is him, Mikey. Hello, Mikey.
In theory, anyway.
Mikey, I called you him. Thus, do you have crab pinches? Is your skin red? Do you have long fishnet stockings on?
I can confirm one of those.
Which one? You said you can confirm one of them. Choose the one. Which one?
I think the fishnets are probably the most likely.
You could have had... Mikey, it's been a week since I've talked to you. You could have got crab claws.
It is true. It is true. I could have.
Yes, yeah. I mean, genetics have gone a long way. Remember lamb in a bag?
No, but my computer fan goes absolutely mad behind me.
Why? What did you do?
Nothing. I didn't do anything.
It's meant to be cold, Mikey. It shouldn't be heating up so much.
Well, they have the heater on in this house so often, so...
Oh my god. Yeah,
I think it basically is going like, no to your artificial heating.
Yeah, I could see that. But to be fair, like, artificial heating also stops mold creeping in. So that's not too bad. It's importante, so I'm told. How's Mikey doing? It's been a week. Mikey good?
I'm good. Just kept busy with work and stuff like that.
I see, I get you. I tell you what I haven't done. I haven't started Audacity, which is a bit silly of me.
You stupid man.
You stupid woman. Do you not see what this is? There's a good oldie reference for you. I wonder if anyone would actually who are younger than us would know what that's from.
In Germany, yes.
Really? Is Hello Hello popular in Germany?
Very. It was hugely popular in Germany.
Wow, really? I wouldn't have thought so.
Yep, extremely. They loved it.
Huh. It's very one note, but it's all right.
Listen, it's one joke, but it's not a bad joke.
No, it's to be fair, it's like five jokes. 5? Is that fair? It's something like that. It's not many.
Yeah, not a ton.
No. And then, like you said, Mikey, there is an overarching plot to Hello Hello. It is deep.
Weirdly, there is. Yes. Looking back on it, weirdly is.
It's a lie when you say it's deep, though. To be fair, it is not. Yeah. It's not something you go, wow, that's changed my perception on film or storytelling for the better.
I don't know. I know it was quite significant in the day.
Really?
Yeah. It
storytelling.
Redefined a lot of British comedies.
Oh, comedies. Okay. It's like, not like The Godfather.
Is basically your only international output.
Oh, yeah. Did you say your, as in like mine?
Yes, you, the English.
Oh, okay. Because I have not produced any comedy before, I'm afraid.
It's literally the only thing you've given the world.
Oh my god. Wow. I don't know. I think we did some other things as well.
Name one.
We stopped the slave trade. We went out there and
we also started the slave trade.
Oh, we didn't start it. We didn't start it, Mikey. Don't be silly.
We stopped the slave trade. While some places.
What's that?
I'm making fun of the fact that British history is very self-congratulatory.
No, I don't know. I think it's pretty decent to go out of our way and end it. Yeah,
but you kept on doing it.
When?
Afterwards. After you were supposed to have ended it, you kept on doing it.
I don't remember that.
You weren't alive.
Were you? Were you? You don't know. Shall we start poopcasting, Mr. Mikey? We've got stuff to talk about. Well, actually, that's a lie. We don't have a lot to talk about.
We have a bit to talk about.
We have a bit. We kind of, when we covered last week, which was basically from December to the beginning of January, I think we kind of covered most of it. And now we've got the January dregs. It's kind of like the film cinema dregs, when they just kind of let the bad movies of the end of 2022 come through. We kind of got that. Do we know when the next Hasbro press conference, Hasbro Pulse thingamadoo is?
I'm sure someone knows.
Yeah, I
am not someone. No. I am not the someone in this case.
Oh, that's fine. All right, well then, Mr. Mikey, where is the music? That's not it. That's it. I will play the music, Mr. Mikey, and we will start our pooping into the toilet of the internet.
Welcome to Moonbase 2.
everybody, and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name is Andy, Decayed Andy, and I'm here with a little man known as Mikey. Hello, Mikey.
Yay!
Hello.
Hello.
How's it going, Mikey? You doing good?
I'm just sitting there, kind of like it's like we haven't talked in ages.
Yeah, an entire week.
Yeah.
One whole week. It's crazy. I mean, it's not. It's how it usually happens. Do you remember
Yeah, time is linear.
there are still people who are like, man, why don't I get to talk to Mikey anymore? And they're like, Andy, you get to talk to Mikey a lot. I'm like, no, I get to talk to him once a week.
No one says that.
They used to when we had Skype calls.
Yeah, but like, then socializing died and everyone retreated into the vast void that is their horrible, horrible lives. And now we're all just sort of like sitting, waiting for the end to, encompass us all.
People stopped liking Skype. They were like, let's use the other.
Oh, it was like, it was Skype,
stuff.
then it was Zoom.
I never used
then
Zoom.
It was something
I
else.
refused Zoom.
Like, for some reason, our generation basically like skipped Discord altogether and just like, I'm not using what the kids using for their game stuff.
I know. I thought it was weird because I was like, no, I'll use Discord. I was using it primarily for streaming at that time, and I was like, well, this is effective. It seems to work. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's like, it's all right. It's integrated into things. I'm down with it. And
I'm down with the kids.
Yeah, VTubers use it too, so I'm like a mediocre VTuber, so I'll give it a try. Why not?
Very.
Yeah, thank you. We're here to talk about Transformers once again with the jam of my life, as I am the bread for him to be spread upon. As we say, it's Mikey. Hi. I see some Rebro UKs in the chat. He says, after you've done the TF side, be interesting to hear your thoughts on the recent 2023 reschedule for the Good Smile / Mandroid. I think that's an Android.
Oh, yeah.
No. Motoroid. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Motoroid came out with a buttload of stuff today.
Yeah.
If you
can copy that, Mikey, and poop that over to me, the image at least, and then I can throw it up on the screen when we get to it later. Raw. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to actually do some research because like all the names were in katakana, and I obviously do not read katakana.
Lazy. I get you. Yeah.
I recognize some of them.
I did see a good little meme that had the big image of all the things that they were making, and then the stickman poking the logo for Bandai that says, "Come on, do something." Come on. And I'm like, yeah, it kind of felt like that to me. Mikey, shall we talk about some Transformers news, some news that transforms?
Let's do that.
Yeah, all right. Let me actually find the first story. There it is. And let me get it up on to screen. That's right, everybody. The most important news that you could possibly want is not actually on screen. Why are you not on screen, thingy? Is it this one? No. Oh my God, the website isn't working for some reason. Okay. I'll throw it out there. We'll talk about it. Then I'll get the image up as Mikey gives his opinion on it. It's the Super Impulse Potatoes Transformers Optimus Prime. Not Optimash Prime, unfortunately. Optimus Prime. That's right. Mr. Potato Head is making his return to the world of Transformers, which I know you and I have been gagging for. This was first revealed apparently in September. Just slid by. This is what they say. A fun Potato Head styled Optimus Prime, G1 Optimus Prime. As with other Potato Heads, you can swap pieces as you want or even make fun combinations. I don't think I've ever said that while playing with the Mr. Potato Head. But fair enough. It's on Amazon, or it will be available via Amazon for $17.99. Mikey, what the fuck do you think of Mr. Potato Head, or Optimash Prime, as he used to be known?
Why does he look in pain?
Because he's Optimash Prime. There we go. I got the page working. Thank God.
He look in mega pain.
I do not like the mouth. The mouth is horrifying. Truly. It is not truly scrumptious, as Mary Poppins might say.
It is not.
No. I think this is less impressive than the original Optimash Prime. I think the headpiece might be, if not the same, similar. He's more rounded. The original Mr. Potato Head, I guess the arms on this are better, and he has a more complete robot form. But he looks, it's the mouth and the eyes, which are just horrifying. Not on board. Not on board.
Something else.
I don't see these other parts that you can apparently mush him with, apart from potentially, I guess, like, hey, the idea is to buy multiple Mr. Potato Heads. But yeah, it seems like you don't get anything extra in the box container thing. Mikey, you have been a big proponent of potatoes in the past.
Is that racist?
Sure, why not? Yeah, I'm happy to go for that.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Why not? What do you think you're going to dip your toe into the potato line? Would you go into the potato line if it delved into, I know it's with Mattel now, but if you could get an Ian Malcolm Mr. Potato Head?
That would be weird.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, how do you do... Because the only pose anyone wants with Ian Malcolm is the, like, leaning pose.
Yes.
So I'm just kind of figure out, like, how would you do that in this context?
You give him a bed to lie on, and it's, like, curved, so, like, the potato shape could lie on it.
There
you go. Thought it out.
You clearly have.
Yeah.
I'm
a toy designer.
So I'm going to go out on a limb, right?
Okay.
I'm going to go out on a limb and just say, I'm not in love.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure anyone else is.
What's better, this or a Funko Pop?
This, because it's playable.
Okay, yeah. I wanted to gauge it, see whereabouts you fell.
That's it. I do not want either of these. So it's like, which one do you not want? I mean, I don't want this less.
A Funko Pop is less money, though.
Yes, but
I think.
Does significantly less. Well, no, actually, not necessarily.
Yeah, not necessarily.
No.
I'm sure the arms will be removable, the legs will be removable, and the hat and the eyes and the mouth. So, a Funko Pop, you can just turn the head, right?
Yes.
You've had more than me, so I expect you to be the expert here on Funko Pops.
I had two. One was a dinosaur that didn't move.
One was a person, though.
Yeah, and I gave it to my mother.
Yeah.
She's got it in the house now. I tried to sell it, and no one would buy it.
Just think, Mikey, in like 20 to 40 years, no one will still buy it. It'll be in a tip somewhere. Yeah. So Optimus Prime, which is the name he should always be stuck with. Yep. Not a fan. Would it have been better to just give him a big Peter Cullen mustache, do you think, instead of a mouth?
I would have been more in favor of it, I have to admit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a weird one.
I think the Optimus Prime as well had the option of you using the grill, right? The faceplate. You could either have him faceplated or not.
Yeah, there was one. There was one that had that.
Yeah. We have gone back in time with potatoes. Mikey, we were going to talk about this last week. We didn't. And we're going to talk about it this week because you are the Flame Toys expert, as you have more than I do.
Apparently. So, Flame Toys revealed the images and pre-order details for their upcoming 4i model kit G1 Soundwave. So this is a stylized but still very G1 Soundwave. It's due out in the second quarter of 2023, US $55. So for euros anyway, it'll probably come out as 60 or 70 once you do the import and conversion and stuff like that. Don't know for anything what it will do for the UK. Accessory-wise, it comes with 2 sets of extra hands, one for pointing and one for grasping. I'm not 100% sure, but I think the pointing one might just be reused from Optimus.
Probably, right? I mean, they're just like hands, right?
Yeah, and it comes with a little chibi Soundwave, little chibi Ravage.
It'd be good if it came with a chibi Soundwave.
Yeah, that would be cute. So design-wise, this is a different take on Soundwave. To me, this says someone was reading Dreamwave.
Oh.
I'm not.
It's not that bad proportion-wise. Jesus.
It's very puffy proportions, but it's the head. I'm gonna double check, but the head is very distinctive. And it's, it's Flame Toys, which means it's almost certainly done by someone who is reading Dreamwave. Trying to find. Yeah, do you know what? I think I found. Yeah, like if you look at the head in this piece of art here, I'm just gonna. For some reason, this is on Etsy. For some reason, this is on Etsy, but I'll just give you the link.
Oh, all right.
Someone on Etsy selling something illegally.
What? They don't. That's not what happens on Etsy, Mikey.
Etsy's moral.
That's like saying AliExpress sells like proper non-knocked off things. Come on now.
I can never decide if it does or not.
I think it varies, to be honest. I think it varies massively, but there's a lot of KOs.
Yeah, it's so hard to tell what you're looking at.
Oh my god, yeah. Okay, let me get the image and then we'll slow it up there. Yeah, I see it. It's not the best image, granted, but
but you see the head design and the like. Looks like to me dream wavy. Doesn't look like a fully original take like some of these have been.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's cool. Like cool. I'm trying to figure out if it's going to be one of those ones I get to do a custom for, because Devastator I'm only getting to do a custom.
What are you customizing him into? Have you decided yet?
No, I've been having a think all day and just randomly.
Was it the Twitter account Transformer Badass Moments that said they were going to try and look at multiple things? So was it one of the other kind of accounts like that? Because I saw them put up a picture of like what they call the Battle Force guys, when they repainted Devastator, Bruticus and guys like that one, Battle Gaia.
Yeah.
And then they went into Build Tiger and stuff like that. And they're like, oh, Build Tiger. It's like,
Build Tiger could be good because he's actually got the way it's obviously it's not the same because it's a drill, but sure. The way the chest flares out, I would like Super Build Tiger would be more interesting than Build Tiger. Another one that might be kind of interesting is Six Builder. Who's, yeah. Because he's got a lot of color variation and they're not like common color combos.
It's like the blue one, right? Blue, orange, red, green, and whatever.
White, black, like lots and lots of options.
Yeah.
Revenge of the Fallen's another one. That would only really be 3 colors. But it's kind of, I won't be getting him for like, I'm hopefully going to get him this year, but it won't be for a while yet. So I'll have time to think, and obviously I'll have to like plan out paints and stuff like that beforehand. But yeah, so I think this looks good. It looks really posable. I will say aesthetically, like again, Dream Wavy is not like setting my heart aflame, which is why I'd be thinking like this would be one kind of like Devastator, just like I'm sure it's a good kit, but this is one to get the custom up.
Is it strange that Furry model kits have such a weird array currently of like styles?
Yeah,
it's kind of all out
different. There. Yeah, no, like they've got how many designers do they have now? 1, 2. Okay, so Lio Convoy and Devastator both have the same designer. So does some of the Optimuses. Then there's another guy who did another Optimus. There's another one who did Seekers. There's another one who did the girls. In fact, there's only one person doing the girls, and he's a former hentai artist.
Probably the best person to get it done, then I would imagine. I'm serious.
I know, but I think it's kind of interesting because it's become kind of an. Do you remember that DC toy line that was all like, and here's the artist version of these characters?
No, which one?
It was. Oh god, it would have been like early New 52, I think.
I don't remember that one. Who was it done by? Do you remember the company?
I'll find out. It would have been Hasbro. DC Artist Series or something.
I don't think Hasbro's held the DC license before. It might have been Mattel, right?
DC. It was before the McFarlane days, anyway.
Oh well, that's good at least. Oof.
Oh god, I don't know enough. Who's that artist who was like in charge of the company?
Jim Lee.
Jim Lee. Thank you.
Oh, it was Jim Lee. It's like, it won't be Jim Lee. I'll say Jim Lee. I'm smart. It was Jim Lee. Good for me.
What was this line called?
What was it called, Mikey?
Driving me nuts. I'm just getting loads of pictures of Jim Lee Batman. So presumably there's a lot of Jim Lee Batman toy lines.
I hear Batman's not popular at all, so that's very strange.
I hear I'm tired of him. Anyway, there was this line that did this. I remember this distinctly. It was like maybe 2 or 3 years into New 52. But yeah. So like I just think it's kind of interesting. Like they're clearly getting in different designers and showcasing their talents and stuff like that, which I'm liking. It means they look a little odd together on shelves sometimes.
I was going to say, do you think that's a detriment to Furry model kits just because there is no cohesive style to them? And like if people are like, oh, I can't wait to see a Soundwave, and they get this like puffy pillow abomination, they could go, well, I mean that's a hyperbolic statement. I don't dislike it, but they could look at this and be like, he looks like the Marshmallow Man. Why can't he look like the IDW version or the G1 version? This weird Dreamwave version. I think that is it's a strange way for the company to go. because it could like,
Yeah,
especially
it's
like,
unusual.
imagine they did like a Skyquake, and I'd be like, oh yeah, cool, and it's just like melted plastic, and it's like designed by Nick Roche, and I go, fuck's sake, Nick, once again, screwing me over.
I knew you were going to say that.
Fuck me. You know, that would be
Poor Andy signed Nick.
exactly, yeah. that would I'd be like, God damn it. I don't know. It's
Just
I guess it's
screaming
different.
out the window. Nick!
Roche. Roche. Is Roche like the
William
polite way to
Shatner
say his
comes up.
last name, or is it just like to make it fancier?
That's just chocolate, isn't it?
I don't know. Oh yeah, Roche. Yeah, that does sound like a
Ferrero
chocolate.
Rocher.
Ferrero Rocher. Oh
I'm
my
sure
god.
someone said that to him. I'm sure someone said that to him at some point or another.
I'm very tempted if you ever do another interview with him now to get like, you know, the Ferrero Rocher pyramids, like where they have all of the little Ferrero Rochers and they build it into a little pyramid. Replace each of those with little Nick Roche heads, and it can be a pyramid of Roche heads. That'd be great. I like the idea of that. I'll try and remind myself of that in the future if that ever happens, which it could do.
Right.
Yeah. Why are you saying that this is a weird thing? I've used Scourge for this week's image as Batman. You know, this is not out of the ordinary for me. I gotta come up with stupid images for shows every week.
True.
Actually, nearly every day because I do streaming too. Oh my god. Anything else, Mikey, on Soundo Wavo?
That's me. Just keep an eye out for him. If you are interested in him, I highly recommend getting the pre-order in now, just from personal experience. 4i models do not hang around.
They're not Bandai kits, basically, where they come in every now and again, I should say.
They're basically, you'll see a reissue like a year down the line afterwards, and that will be annoying.
Did you get Windblade? I can't remember. I thought you did.
Yeah, she's coming to me in April.
Oh, right. Okay. So, right. I didn't think you actually had it. So I was right on that.
So I did get the second wave of her got announced, and I just got in on that.
Okay.
So I'll be looking at that by, or girl rather. And RC is due later in the year. And then Lio is maybe in the next few months.
Oh, wow. Is that the one that comes with the cape? No, that was the
yeah,
he's
the one with the cape.
Oh, I thought he was the action figure rather than the
no, they haven't done the action figure version. That'll cost like 150 or something when that comes out because it's made out of completely different materials. I've been looking at they've done a high quality knockoff of Primal, the 4i action one, the one that was supposed to be model kit, and then they released it as a figure. And I'm just staring at it, and I don't want to buy it, but I also want that design.
Why don't you want to buy it?
Because I would rather support Flame Toys, but the Flame Toys one is €200.
Oh God, no.
And I'm just like, I'm sure it's worth it. I'm sure the quality of the figure and the paint and everything else is up there. But
Mikey gotta eat.
I've already spent way too much at Christmas. I cannot spend more money.
I thought you were gonna say you spent way too much on food.
No, I do that too, but that's a different thing. So yeah, it's one of those things that I'm just like, please stop. Just make it a kit that I can just buy and then sit in my cupboard for 6 months until I build it.
A strange benefit to Flame Toys I've noticed is they don't they sometimes do it, but they don't go heavily into repaints. Like there hasn't been a repaint of the Windblade at all, as far as I'm aware. There's not even like a exclusive.
There's been a few of the Optimuses, but it's basically just been Nemesis and like Magnus for one or two, and Shattered Glass. Obviously, that's becoming their baby.
Yeah,
but yeah, no, it is, but it is also kind of like, don't expect to have a lot of opportunities to get the kit afterwards, because the secondary market is not kind.
No, they're not.
But you basically, if you don't get it from a retailer, you're in a bit of trouble for this one.
No, yeah, definitely. Shall we move on, Mikey?
Let's.
Masterpiece, Mikey. We have the images and promotional video for the Trainbot Seizan, who is a train. You might be surprised to know, Mikey. He's going up, or shall be up, for release in September 2023. If you wonder for the price, he's going to be 22,000 yen, which is 165 US dollars, which is why I went because that's for one. So that's rather expensive.
Insignificant amount.
I would say so, especially when it's a 6 combiner. We have the promotional video for it as well show how fancy it is. What do you think of the Train Boy, Mikey? He's another one for the Raiden project.
I keep forgetting these are coming out, and I've definitely forgotten they're this far along. No, I think he looks decent. I think I like him more than the other ones, to be honest.
What makes you like him more? Because he's still got that ridiculously over the size backpack.
Yeah, I kind of like it.
Oh wow! Oh, you like you don't like the backs because I don't. I think it's too much. Way too much.
It just looks different. Like it is literally just like here's a train on his back, and it's like there's a bit of it in the character model, but not that much. But
it's
just
167.
Oh no! I thought you were saying the design, not the price.
Well, I mean, for the price, I would expect that to be a little bit, I don't know, cleaner. Granted, it is the same as the other green one. What the other green one was called, I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't like the green one as much. I think it's the color. I think the color makes it work better for me.
Oh, okay. You like the weird beige and red.
And there's just a picture of him running in one of these shots, and it just looks like he's like up.
All right.
I'm just looking at it like a group shot. I'm not really interested in buying any of these, but I just look at him and just like I kind of like it. I don't know why. I just kind of like it. It's inexcusable from an engineering perspective, especially for something that has to be a combiner. But I suppose that's maybe the excuse. But it's if I was getting one, and I would only be one, and I'm not, this guy. Also, like that backpack is completely superfluous because it's bloody kibble on the robot mode as well, on the binder rather.
Yeah, it's the leg laser or something, isn't it?
Which you don't need.
No, it's okay to have on. It kind of looks okay-ish, right? Looks fine.
I mean, it doesn't exactly make me go like, wow, that's $167. That's a $900 figure.
I definitely think, is it Moon Studio that's doing the other combiner Raiden?
I think so. I think so. I
think generally us and a lot of other people, I think Thu as well, have said that Moon Studio looks like they're doing a better go at it for the most part. Would you agree with that still, or not? Are you dumping that now?
I barely remember them. I'm actually looking it up now.
I barely remember them.
Nope, barely. Theirs has come out.
All of it? It's all out?
Yeah. Emgo has a review up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
I think that looks a lot more cohesive.
Cleaner in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Similar prices, if I remember as well, right?
Yeah, but they don't have the big backpack or anything like that.
No.
The only one I can see on sale to check would be T of Source is one I can check. So to buy the masterpiece is going to cost you about $900.
Oh, for all of it, you mean?
For all of it. For a Radiatron, which is Raiden, set as 6 from Moon Studio, that is $700.
Oh, so it's a lot cheaper. It's still expensive as hell, but
it's on clearance, down from $730.
Oh, even better. You got to spare $700. You can go out and get a full Raiden combiner.
Yeah, listen. I've heard people say some weird shit during the week about figures and stuff like that. Listen to the podcast, but
really,
I won't. Yeah, that makes me think like that's not a healthy use of your money. But
oh no,
yeah.
Remember to subscribe to the Moonbase 2 podcast.
I spent way too much at Christmas just because I was just like, I've had a rough couple of months. I'm spending money I shouldn't be spending.
I am depressed. I wish to use retail therapy because it actually helps a lot.
Yeah. And
it's not good and healthy, but damn, it feels good.
And spoilers, I'm still waiting on that fucking box I ordered.
You'll need to remind... What's in the box?
I'm not telling you. But it's... When I was just contacted the seller there it's a hobby shop in Italy, and I contacted them on, it is cheaper to buy from them than buying from the UK.
Oh, wow.
Much cheaper, in fact. I contacted them on Friday. I'm just waiting for them to get back to me and just going, hey, buddy, I've got the FedEx saying it's ready to be picked up, and it was due on Friday. Friday's gone.
Oh, no.
So get your ass in gear, Italy.
Well, hopefully you get it, or you get your money back. I mean, you're going through PayPal, so it should be okay.
Yeah. If I don't get it, I'm just going to say, hey, PayPal, money, chuck up.
Give me the
thing. Then if it turns out they say, we shipped it, and it shows up 3 weeks later, I'm not telling them.
Oh, no, Mikey. Mikey the bad man.
Yep.
Mikey the bad man. TF Mike says, Mikey, train on his back. Wait, what? Are you in the army now, Mikey? Hup, hup, hup.
Hup, hup.
Put the bunny back in the box.
No.
Oh, why not? What you got against bunnies in boxes?
Bunnies don't need to be in boxes.
Nicolas Cage would disagree.
Nicolas Cage would disagree with most things anyone says.
Is that like a negative?
Don't know. It's Nicolas Cage. I can never decide if I love him or can't stand him. But
I think he's probably an A-OK dude.
I think he's nuts, but maybe not in a bad way.
Yeah, exactly. Do we have anything else to say about this Trainbot boy? Apart from he's very expensive and maybe it's better deal to go for the Moon Studios one? I mean, it is, literally. It's less money.
I'm good.
You good? All right.
I'm good.
What's next, Mikey?
So we had Possible, which then just became, listen, we have the pictures. Can we stop this, please?
Possible.
But, Possible. Images of Studio Series leader Scourge from Transformers Rise of the Beast. It's also our first real look at least a preliminary design for Scourge. Please remember that between the toy lines, massive delays, and everything else, we do not know if this was based on the finished show model or if this was based on something from the early days.
Wait. Are you saying the toys are not always completely accurate to how they look in the show or movie?
I'm going to say that Studio Series has been a mixed bag sometimes with that.
When has ever Beast Wars made mistakes like that?
I saw Inferno today and I was just like, come down in price, please. I love your ant mode.
Oh, it looks so good. I hear some people really don't like the legacy ant mode because it looks cute. I'm like, I'm okay with that. I don't mind a little.
Really look cute. It looks like an ant.
Well, no, I think their argument is it doesn't look like a vicious ant. I heard people say that it looks like the ant from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. You know, it's a dog. Oh, he's little chibi ant. He did.
So that's what I'll say to that. So yeah, we get to see his robot mode, his weapons, accessories, and his vehicle mode. His vehicle mode is a fairly messy truck.
Looking good from some angles.
Front. Okay, so from the front of the truck is quite neat and tidy.
Yes.
It's got some interesting paint details. Some kind of like, I can't tell if that's supposed to be scratches or actual paint. But the general aesthetic kind of works, and then the further back you get, the worse it becomes.
Yeah.
Basically, the back section is just a pair of legs very vaguely pinned together with a huge gap in the middle and a lot of hang-on kibble. I don't like the placements of the smokestacks over this big empty space either. I don't like. Basically, it starts off well and just becomes something I'm not a fan of.
And it's a leader toy as well.
Yeah, which is good.
No. I say good. It's not good because of how little it looks like it does with the legs. I think a leader should be actually transforming and not having this, just his legs hang on the bottom and, like you say, have a massive gap in between them. It feels like this is... It almost feels like this is a deluxe size transformation. It might not be. There might be much more intricate transformation engineering and all that kind of jazz, but it feels like they've upscaled a smaller class to just be bigger, but without the engineering.
It's a weird thing, especially when you consider how, it's not like in the last couple of years they haven't had practice with a leg transformation.
No, of course. Yeah.
Like, it is a little overdone at the moment. Robot mode proportions are good, and he's got kind of blade weapon, and he's got an arm cannon that also has a removable claw. His face is basically the Terrorcon, if we're still calling him that, Terrorcon face with a mane of hair.
What's wrong?
He's Mikey? Going to be completely absorbed by everything around him in any kind of action scene, and any details that are interesting about him will be lost because he is a monotone fella.
Yeah, I think the only way that it would be saved is if they do really good lighting. Like, they have really good light sources to really to come in from the bottom, so you get nice casts of shadows. But like you say, if any kind of wide shots, the further he is into the background, he's just going to turn into, you say, a black silhouette blob.
And from what we've seen of Rise of the Beast, and the more we hear about it, it's very much going down the original movies route in many ways. So it's not exactly making me think they're going to have that kind of cinematography.
No.
because even if the directors knew, the producers aren't. But every time I look at this guy, every single time I see one thing, and now I can't unsee it. Which I have just sent it to you, which is the King of Facade from Near Replicant. So,
really,
every time I see this, that the way his neck sort of comes down and he's got the mask on, all I see is like one of the masked people from Near, and his mask works the best for that.
Huh.
So it's just stuck into my brain because I played that game too much. So I'm just like, oh god. And then he's black as well, so I'm like, he's a shade as well. So he in my head he's like become the shade for the King of Facade, which if you're familiar with the new storyline is a very dark thing to say. I don't know how I feel about this guy. He hasn't settled with me yet.
I think he needs a repaint. You know what doesn't help? There's a group shot of him with Battle Trap. I keep forgetting his name, the orange one, and then
Shadow Dropkicker there, and
Shadow and Dropkick. Yeah,
I think that's Hard Top.
It's like a redo of somebody else, and like they've got all these nice bright colors. They've granted as well got quite a lot of black on them as well, and then it's just him behind them, just like you say, one monotone color, and you go, oh, oh no.
And yeah, that was my like. Why can't we just make them colorful? Why does it have to be this? Like, especially since we know he's going to be in night shots. And I would, like, we know there are going to be night shots in this. I would even say there's a very high chance the final action scene will be a night shot because it is easier to film high action movement scenes like that because you can disguise when you've had to, like, reduce the graphical budget and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then, which means you're going to have a red truck and a yellow car and probably a black gorilla fighting a black truck, which means two of your combatants will basically be in stealth.
Are we talking about the last battle scene that we see in the trailer where it's also next to like a volcano with the floor being all black as well from like soot?
I don't remember exactly the scene, but I do know there's like one that does look like a final action scene and it is them at night and he's like, I think he's strangling Bumblebee.
Okay. Right, okay.
So I don't know. I'm just like, just give color, please, for the love of God. And like, Battle Trap's better, but he's
got his own issues.
Nightbird's not amazing in the color department either.
No.
So I mean, what's your take on?
It's pretty bad. It's pretty rough. I like the idea of what the truck mode's going for. That's why I mentioned from certain angles, the truck looks nice, and then you start turning it and looking at it from above and then from the sides, and you go, oh, no. Put it back, ignore it. Don't look at it from the side or from above. Just look at it from directly on, and you're like, that's a cool truck design. It's got a good grill on the front, looks really menacing. Looks like it would go quite well next to Dark of the Moon Megatron, his weird truck mode. I think they would look good to each other, and then it kind of falls apart from there. The robot mode, as a design, I don't think the design's terrible. I think it looks maybe not like a good leader. It doesn't have that striking presence of like, this is your evil boss kind of character. Because his face is so like... it just looks like he's wearing a helmet, right? He looks like a grunt, like a goon. Like he could have this guy in the background and there'd be like 20 or 50 of them all dying. Like in Revenge of the Fallen, all those guys who were just there to die. He looks like one of those kind of characters because, again, he's just one color. I think they're trying to do something with his color by adding on like the sparse chains and the weird, either like you mentioned, either scratches or rust or mud. I think that's how they're trying to add a bit more color into him, but it's just not working. There's the image of him, Battletrap, and Galvatron, and Galvatron has his own issues with color. But at least on the toy has the gray and then highlighted with the really bright chromed metal. I think this guy could have done with some different shades of like lighter silver in there again, just for highlights, just to bring it up a little bit more. Like make the face bright silver or something like that. Then the inside of the face dark. Give him much deeper, redder eyes, so they kind of beam out from the darkness, kind of all sinister and whatnot. It just needed more. But if we're talking about just like, if I looked at him and didn't know what he transformed into. Didn't look at his back in robot mode because that's a bit shitty as well, to be honest. Let's find where's the shot of his back. It didn't look desperately clean. I do like the fact he can put his gun on his bum. That's fun. Just hang it off there. That's kind of nice. But yeah, all in all, not great. Maybe whatever line that the nice air razor is in, he will also get a nicer version and look good there as well. Because there's the Studio Series one, which I think we've said none of the Studio Series ones have looked good. But then there's the other movie line. I think the actual just movie line, right? Where we'd be like, that looks a better.
Yeah, ironically, the ones that's probably less accurate.
Yeah. They've came across probably better. But yeah, can't say I'm loving it. TF Mike apparently loves the truck mode. A big fan.
Good man, Mike.
Very Unicron-like, he says as well. I guess I could see the Unicron kind of aesthetic, I suppose. Yeah.
I will be honest, I would like Unicron to stay a million miles away from this movie.
Yeah.
Because they shouldn't have done it in the first place, and they definitely shouldn't have done Galactus in that Fantastic Four movie.
No, I mean, it's the crux, isn't it? We got to up the stakes. It's like for Transformers, we're always going back to Unicron now, because we won't do anything new, unfortunately. We won't have a new big threat, which is always the shame.
It's too big a concept. It's too big a concept to do on a limited budget, is how I always described Unicron. Like, it's too much. It's too much to like. You could do it in cartoons because you have a lot more freedom and creativity in like what you can do. You can do it in comics for the same reason. You do not have that certainly in a photorealistic movie.
Yeah,
like it's just going to go completely wrong. And any time someone's attempted that because of the limits of photorealism, the expectations of photorealism.
Oh god.
It doesn't work.
No.
And to be honest, Unicron rarely works anyway in a story. Like, most Unicron stories don't work, in my opinion anyway, because it's a very hard thing. Okay, you can't properly fight him unless you have another planet do it. So everything's like tiny people versus big planet, which means like it quickly just becomes a series of people running through a hall, shooting things that aren't the character they're supposed to be fighting. Which never really works for me, but anyway, that's a bugbear of mine.
Yeah, I just think we need to expand the concept of what Transformers can have as their ultimate kind of entity villain. I can't always just be Unicron, you know.
Oh, definitely.
And yet it has been. See, when they introduced him in Armada, I thought that was a big deal because we hadn't seen him since the original movie. So it's like, oh shit, it's Unicron, and now it's just like, oh, it's Unicron. There he is again. Oh, okay, it's Unicron again. They beat him. Yeah, whatever. You know, you could argue about how well they did him in Armada. Certainly, you know. For the most part, I think he's had a better go in Armada than he has in other things. Not in Energon. He was bad in Energon. I mean, there was no saving him there. But then there was no saving that show, so what can you do?
Yeah, and then Galaxy Force, where he wasn't there. We just pretended he was because...
No. Cybertron pretended he was there. I don't think...
Well, Galaxy Force is a complicated example, isn't it?
Yeah,
because
that's true.
Technically, Galaxy Force was supposed to have him.
Yes.
And then they went, yeah.
But then America went, yes, kind of.
America went, yeah?
Yeah, it was confusing. Very confusing. Shall us move us on, Mikey, to the last few bits of news?
Let's.
Right, well, from TF Nation, 2022, the Ron Friedman's first Transformers the Movie script panel that was presented, I guess it was last year at TF Nation. It felt like 2021, but it wasn't. Like it was a lot longer ago. Those weird images of like the giant snake train and all that jazz. These are all up now on, let me find... the TF Space Station online, Dash Online YouTube channel. So if you want to go and see the whole thing, it's all there. It's 42 minutes, 36 minutes, and 53 minutes. Broken up into some interesting things there, but okie dokie. You know, split up your videos however you like. But if you want to see what the original version, the Ron Friedman script that was shown, and the images that were drawn especially for the event, you can go and watch them there. You've got Dave and Chris, you got Jim Sorensen and Chris McFeely explaining everything, right?
I believe so, yeah. And they had a big hand in bringing it all together. One thing I would say, because some people got a little bit confused at this when it originally came out, the designs and stuff are fan interpretations based on the script. They are not anyway based on anything super official unless there was some minor concept art available.
Yeah.
So please be aware of that, because this is not like some people are going like, cool, when are we getting the third-party figures or something
Never.
of this? And
I
it's like, you are highly unlikely to get these because these are based off fan art designs, which also means that they realistically, if they had any decency, have to get the permission of the fan artists. So please be aware of that. And yeah, so just don't expect it is my recommendation there, to be
I would
honest.
also throw out they're not G1, and thus the third-party companies are less likely to touch them. I mean, we've barely got Armada toys, Energon toys, Cybertronian toys, Animated, Prime. They're touched like by one or two companies, but primarily it's just the G1 characters that you know. So for them to do like you said, fan-made things based off of designs and stuff like that, it's highly unlikely. At best, maybe you get a 3D printed Snake Train, which would be kind of funny.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah, I think that's the best you'll get. But yeah, I mean, there's a decent amount of content up there. Do you think you'll watch the videos, Mikey, if you haven't already? I don't think you have. You don't have time.
I will probably check them out. I've read the summaries.
Yeah,
but I haven't watched the videos, so I'll definitely check them out at some point, I think. Yeah, so it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how it turns out.
Right, so that's that. And then for TFCon, which is obviously in March, from the 10th to the 12th, 2023, Jens Horan, the voice of Horan, Transformers Wheeljack, he's going to be there. And also Wally Wingert, the voice of Mirage and Sideburn from Transformers Robots in Disguise, and many other voices as well. They're going to both be at TFCon in Los Langeles if you want to go and see the lads.
Ooh, Los Langeles.
Los Langeles. Yeah, they'll be there. And that's it. That's all the Transformers news for the week. That's it.
Yeah, it was not a busy week.
No, it was not a girthy week. It was not veiny at all, unfortunately. Mikey.
Will we go? Hang on, before we do this Motoroid thing, since we were asked to.
Oh, there was also didn't you want to do what do you call them? Iron Factory.
Oh, yeah. So we might as well get those out of the way. So Iron Factory. I just
remembered.
So revealed some new images this week, and they're essentially just kind of like what we're hoping to get released in, 2020, whatever it is.
3.
So they also revealed like pre-orders are up for a redo of their Seekers. So the plan for the year is to get the Lio Kaiser and the recolor of the DJD combiners done. So this is going to be the ones that all in Terran colors and just the Lio Kaiser. And we also get to see the individual robots for the first time. And the big thing here is Det Cobra's there.
Yes. Won't be necessary to make him, but I guess if you want to get an extra one, that's really neat.
I think it'd be neat if he was like a weapon or something for him.
I don't think that'll be the case, to be honest, but it'd be all right if it was.
That's because you don't have Joy.
Yeah, but he's the same size as all of them, so it's more than likely he's just going to be based off of, like, I don't know, Guy Hawk.
He'll be a helicopter and he'll be like an arm or something.
But if he could turn into a weapon, that'd be fun. I'd like it.
I mean, presumably he would be an arm because that's what Hellbat was.
Yeah, that's right.
And he was supposed to replace Hellbat. So we also get to see another couple of designs for the anime line, or the samurai line, rather.
Yeah.
So we've got Primal, Cheetor, and Sideswipe, and Sunstreaker are all coming to that line. We don't have a very good image of them here, but I am definitely interested in the Primal.
He has a pretty solid look. I mean, his base design is easy enough to turn into, like, he has the silhouette of a samurai with the big shoulder pads. Everything like that. So I'll be interested to see what he turns into, because it should be better than Ironhide. Do you remember Ironhide turning into that weird square rectangle thing?
I'm assuming he turned into an armored gorilla.
Maybe. I mean, it's a good assumption. It would make sense for him to do that. Grimlock
was an armored T-Rex, so... Sideswipe and Sunstreaker, I think, are just going to be weird looking cars.
Probably, yeah.
But we also see Primal Prime. Is that the red Optimus? Optimal Optimus is going to be done. And there's also a Red Alert in there. Some interesting ones here is Leadfoot's coming.
Yeah, is he getting done out of somebody like a Mirage?
I'm assuming so, because I cannot imagine Leadfoot's your first port of call.
No. It'd be interesting if it was, because, again, when was the last time we got a new Leadfoot? Brand new Leadfoot.
It looks like Galvatron's being redone into Marvel colors.
Where's he? I see him. I see him.
Yeah.
He kind of blends in.
There's a guy next to Leadfoot in red and green I don't recognize.
The red and bluey kind of color.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure who that's meant to be.
Then it looks like there's going to be an Orion Pax mold redone into Magnus and whatchamacall. He's one of the characters from the Japanese continuity. Up Blue something. He's a part of the Blue Corps.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know the name.
And then looks like there's going to be a very stylized version of the Fallen with a gigantic shank.
Two of the Fallens. Because there's movie The Fallen in there as well, right?
Yeah, there is. He's sort of like, oh no, that's Lockdown, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it is Lockdown. Sorry, he looked very skeletal, so I assumed it was The Fallen.
And then there's going to be a Shattered Glass Ultra Magnus using their IDW mold. And finally, in kind of didn't see that coming. They are still doing their Starscream girl. She is going to be a wee bit larger than the originally portrayed.
Yeah.
She is going to be about the size of the Combiners, by the looks of it. Or at least she's going to be like a lot bigger than... She's going to be like proper like 6-inch action figure size, I think.
Is that the idea here? Or is that just like an artist's representation? Like
apparently this is all scale based.
Oh, so that... Wow, okay. I didn't think she would be that big, to be honest. I thought that was just like it's like, look, she's not part of this line, but she's her own individual thing, so we'll make it bigger. Maybe
they wanted to upscale it and make it a model kit or something. Yeah, I mean, I'm getting it anyway. It's just fun. But we also see the Seekers, specifically Starscream, Thundercracker, and Skywarp. Their pre-orders are up somewhere. I couldn't find them. They've got slightly improved leg articulation, and they've replaced the heads to make them more anime. So Starscream's got an anime smirk. Thundercracker's quite neutral, and Skywarp has O face. And they also come with a spare head for what was it, Shrike something, which is their version of Slipstream. So I think that's an interesting roster coming up. Anyway,
I still think the heads on these look weird. I remember when we saw Slipstream. I guess originally, if it's the same kind of one, the head looked bizarre. This is an improvement of the head, but the features still look strange, like really big, like helmet piece, and then the face is all kind of squished up, but still with really big eyes. It looks better. But to me, it still looks a little bit weird.
Yeah, it's unusual.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting at nothing else to see some better shots, maybe. But yeah, it's an interesting rollout. There's a couple in there I'm definitely keeping my eyes on.
Which ones?
Primal, the Starscream girl. That Galvatron looks good. I was kind of thinking about getting Galvatron anyway at some point, right. But I do like those colors in Galvatron, so the Fallen looks neat. It'll probably be way too expensive for me, but he looks neat. Yeah,
which is interesting because you don't usually like the Fallen, if I remember.
No, but I do like things that are on fire.
Concerning, but okay.
But yeah, so I think it's a good mix.
Yeah. All right. Well. Unless you've got any other news, then, Mr. Mikey, I guess we can move on to what you done this week. What you done?
Well,
for fun,
I was going to say, will we get this Motoroid thing out of the way?
We could do that. Sure.
So I've sent over a few links from Figsoko and a couple of pictures as well, because apparently there were like 3 days of reveals. So based on this website, there was 3 days of reveals. I know for a fact 2 of them, but one of them just came with a bit of extra information. So I'm assuming this is all new. So if it's not, shut up.
There we go. I got a big vision of the image.
So will we do the image at the bottom first, just because that's the easiest to go through.
Which one's the image at the bottom? Is that the big reveal one?
The one that's 851 when I sent it over.
851. Okay, let me.
It'll be the last link in the thing, and then there's the 2 Fixoka ones, and they were 815.
Oh yeah, that's a big reveal image. Okay, hang on. Is that the right one? because there's quite a few images, it seems.
There are.
Unsurprisingly, there's a lot. Yeah, the one I've got here, I'm gonna have to copy the image and then put it into web browser, so I get the full image rather than the smushed Discord one. Oh, even then, it's not a super detailed image. Is there a nicer image of that one? Because like it's hard to read the image.
Some of them are on the website. I've got the website open here, so I can get some of the names right.
Okay.
So I'll send you over the Mecha Smile website link, but it's enough to be like I'm familiar with at least enough of the designs to go ahead. So let's see. Where are you? You annoying. There we go. Okay, so
yeah, send me that link.
Oh, it has been sent.
Yeah. All right, so we're just going from this website image then. Boom. Okay.
Yeah. So, and there's a few on the there. I will say, look at the page as well, at the image as well, because there's a few characters in there that are not on there yet. So,
okay.
It looks like we've got some chibi things coming in. They're from Grand Zort, which I have seen a couple of pictures of, but I've never watched.
Are they the top 3?
Yeah, well, the top 6. So, well, do you know what we'll do? We'll do it because I've got a link. This is wonderful audio, I'm sure. But so there's a link directly to the image,
right?
And it can zoom up so you can see a lot more detail. So.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So
yeah, because the main site one doesn't have that.
Yeah. So top 3, because I'll just use the main site for references for anything we don't know. So top 3 look like heroes on the left and villains on the right. I'm guessing.
Sure.
Do you have any interest in them? Did they look interesting to you?
Not particularly. No.
No. Next to them is Ray Earth from Ray Earth. This is I know this one because this is a combined form of the 3 of them.
That's right, yeah. It's their ultimate super attack, which you can get in Super Robot Wars later in the game.
It's not a bad design, actually. I've always liked
it. It's okay. It doesn't feel like it's a combination of all 3 of them, though. It just feels like super version of the red one.
Yeah, it's like it takes very little from the dragon and the bird.
Yeah.
And I could never figure out if it was a wolf or a lion. But I've wanted to get one of the rare kits because, at least a dragon is aesthetically something I'm into.
Isn't Motoroid like classically known as something that will just fall apart in your hand or explode?
Well, you and I are at the end of this. I'm going to talk about that.
Oh, all right, okay.
Okay, so because from what I've seen, so many people are big into the model kit scene, are super excited about this. So I'm curious to see if something's changed. But so next up, we've got the Centaur mech from Night and Magic.
Yep.
I don't like it.
Nope. Still don't like it.
Yeah, no, I don't. I just don't like the design. It's not attractive. Next to them, we have a couple of more chibi ones, and they are, what are they from? They're from Overlord Reunite, which I do not hear. No, I've never heard of that.
The white one looks a little bit like from the evil magician from Gundam Breakers 3. The big wizard one.
Yeah.
It looks a bit like that. I'm sure it's not, but it has a bit of that aesthetic.
Next to them is from Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel, which is a series I've got the first game of. It's a Japanese RPG. It's got 4 or 5 of them out now. So this is Valamur. So this is the main mech. It's kind of neat. Especially it's supposed to be going for a night aesthetic, and I think it works.
Okay.
I don't like the big crotch.
Confirmed.
Yeah, that's a very large crotch. Then we've got basic mech from Pat Labor, or Pat Labor, if you're going to be that kind of person. A couple more mechs from Pat Labor. Metal Skin Panic Maddox 01. I've never heard of that.
No, me neither. Is it Full Metal Panic?
Maybe, or maybe something else. I don't know.
It doesn't ring a bell.
It's weird how many things have metal and panic in them. Aliens. We're getting Aliens Ripley in the Power Loader.
That's interesting because that'll have to be entirely, well, maybe not removable Ripley, but buildable Ripley, which you probably don't have to slap onto the mech. So that's kind of nice.
I'm just looking at the pictures of it. Do the limbs look jointed?
Her arms are, yeah.
Are her arms there, but are her legs? I think so.
Yes.
I think so.
Well, her hips are, but I'm not. I think the knees are as well. I think they've done the Dragon Ball Rise thing of just hiding them in the folds.
Yeah, I think she's something that's going to suffer from not coming like that messed up.
What do you mean?
Like in paint. Her trousers there are like paint. They've got like mud and stuff on them.
Right. Yeah. It's going to look very flat, plasticky. I get you. Yeah.
Yeah. Then we've got one of the mechs from RoboCop 2.
Yep.
It's fine. The Estevalis from Nadeshko.
Is that the pink one?
I haven't thought about that since Sci-Fi Channel when that was airing opposite Evangelion, and it was a weird hyper comedy one. Huh. Fun show. Don't know if I'd really want the mech. I never liked the Estevalis. Next to them, what's this one called? Open, yeah, bitch. Next to them is this one is from, I think I know this one. This is from Cross Ange.
I haven't heard of Cross Ange.
Oh, Cross Ange is basically about robots versus dragons.
Oh, that sounds like it's up your alley. Usually, like if I put that on the table, you'd be like, "Oh, I'm interested."
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's quite long and it's quite in depth. And there's some interesting approach to, shall we say, some elements of the story.
Okay.
That may have a ridiculous amount of sex. Ridiculous amount of sex. This is not a hentai technically, but there is so much sex.
Is this the one with the 3 versions of the robot where they have to have sex with? No, where they orgasm when they're like either combining or something.
You'd have to be a lot more specific.
Oh. I just know that it has like when it extends its big move, it's like the arm extends a really long way.
No, that one's not sticking
to
me. But this one is just like super oversexed. It's so oversexed. It was one of those ones that was seeing what it could get away with on a TV without but not like horny, like full on sex, like sex scenes, rape scenes, sex and rape scenes. Like it was pushing it as far as it could get while trying not to literally be like, hey, it's wank material. But
I just want the robots though.
I wanted robots and I wanted dragons. You promised me 2 things. Then there's the mech from Fafnir, which I have heard of, but I've never seen. It's a pretty old series, I think.
It's got some hella spiky toes on it. Jesus.
Actually,
it looks a little bit like something from Zone of the Enders in some ways.
Yeah, it does a bit. But after that is one that, okay.
What do you mean, Mikey?
The next one is Big O. I've never had a Big O. I've wanted a Big O for a long time.
Big O's hard to get. Yeah. They only did like Soul of Chigokins.
Yeah.
They're not cheap.
They're not. We'll come back to why I'm umming about this instead of going like, yeah, Big O. Next to him is Giant Robo from Giant Robo, which I highly recommend watching the OVA of if you never have, because it's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Next to him is Dan of Thursday from Gunsword. Dan, you like Dan?
I do like Dan.
Next from him is Godanner, which is from a very horny anime.
Which horny anime?
This is like there's 2 mecha animes that are just infamous for being like hilariously horny. Like, oh my god, why does everything have massive breasts?
Oh wow!
Even the robot. And Godanner is like, if you ever want to laugh, just look at some of the clips from it. It's something else. It's good crack though. Next to them, what's this one?
One with a weird spine, right?
Yeah, I've seen this guy before. He's from Idolmaster. Which is something I've never watched.
Oh, he's got a weird spine and weird feet. I like the strangeness of the design on this one at the very least. I wouldn't want to have a version of it, but I appreciate that it looks different from most things that you generally see. Yeah,
no, it's interesting. Next one is Zeromeyer. I think that's how you pronounce it.
I've seen this in like Super Robot Wars videos.
Yeah, he's a classic super mech. Like he's like Galaxy Universe ending type.
Oh wow!
Like next to him is also Galaxy Universe ending type potentially if evolution goes the way it goes is Shin Mazinger. Not Shin Mazinger. Shin Getter.
Yeah.
Getter, the best Getter design. My favorite anyway. Next to him, I know him to see him. He's very very classic. What's his name? Ride. I think it is Raiden, isn't it?
Something like that. He comes from out of a pyramid or something, right?
Raiden.
Oh,
Brain
Raiden.
Raid.
Yeah.
Which I think was the precursor to Razefon. I'd
Okay.
have to double check that. And my internet just froze. Okay, so then we have a big. I thought this was from Gunsword as well, but this is something else. What's this one called? Kind of like a very brave looking mech, but I think it's like mech. Victory Daiteo.
Yeah, I don't recognize it at all.
No. Next to that one, I do recognize this to see it.
This is the red one, right?
Yeah, what is your name? Gravion.
Gary.
Oh, yeah. This is Gravion. Gravion was kind of in like the return of the very popular super robot aesthetic.
Yeah, he's got a drill arm and a missile truck arm as well, it seems.
He's interesting. So next to him is Wyverion from Webdiver.
That just sounds like a Digimon.
Yeah, well, like basically, Webdiver was a toy line that came out 2008. Had a cartoon, obviously, but the idea was like they had like connections to your TV and things, so the toys could like play out games on your TV.
Oh, oh god, what was it called? It wasn't Captain N. There was a live action TV series that did something similar, right?
Yeah, like you could be shot and like you'd have a little gun or something like that.
Yeah.
But the main one's a train, and he's already come out, and there's like a weird dragon pirate ship and stuff like that. It's interesting. Next to him is Dioja.
Oh yeah, I know. I've seen Super Mini Plackets do this guy.
Yeah, he's got that like very 70s-esque aesthetic, doesn't he?
Looks like a Megazord.
Yeah, it looks like he does combine.
Yeah.
Next to him is Full Power Gridman, which cool. I know they've done Grid Knight. Yeah, they have done Gridman, haven't they?
I think so.
Like SSS Gridman, SSSS Gridman.
Cerebro UK said it was Captain Power. That's right. It was Captain Power that did that. Thank you.
So yeah, cool. Full Power Gridman. You know, presumably that'll probably be in the same scale as the Grid Knight or Grid Kaiser Dynazenon thing they did.
Something like that. Why are they doing Beetle from Kubo on the Two Strings? But the black version of him.
Yeah. Okay, I've seen Premiere. Is this what the bad robot looked like at the end?
From Promare. This is from Promare?
This is from Premiere.
I don't remember this being in Promare.
Like, I'm going to double check that. I remember like the last mech was like really referential to Gurren Lagann, but
I don't remember this at all. Granted, it's been a while since I've seen it.
Rio de Galleon. Let's Google this one because I've seen Premiere.
Same. I saw it in the cinema. I don't remember it at all.
Yeah. Premiere. Yeah, this is the bad guy from Pro. Oh no, this isn't the bad guy. This is the main mech. Oh, this is when they're fused.
Was he only one color though?
No, he was two color. Oh, okay, I'll show you an image because you might recognize it when you see the image. But yeah, I remember this guy now. Huh. But yeah, he didn't look like this. He had a lot more going on with color.
Maybe it's not a finished version. Maybe it's just a prototype.
Maybe. I mean, like he's the base black is right.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to have highlights.
Yeah.
Like a lot of highlights.
Oh wow, yeah, that was meant to have that looks a lot more. I recognize that.
Yeah,
that's a lot more highlights.
Yeah, boy howdy, I kind of want that, but I also really believe that would turn into 1 million stickers.
I was gonna say, what if it's a load of shitty like holographic stickers? A load of them. It's just stickers, isn't it? And it's holographic, so then as you move it across like the light sources, he sparkles. Maybe that's the idea. I don't like that. Wow.
The next one, I think that's something Brave related.
Yeah, it's not Six Shot.
It's no, not him. The one with the lion head.
Oh no, yeah.
I think that might be from the not the Garn. The one Firebird. I think that might be from Firebird.
No, it's not Firebird. I think you might be right with Dagon, to be honest.
Maybe. The next name is Six Changer, who I have a weird affection for after buying a knockoff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it's a really fun design, and this one transforms.
Yeah.
It does the 6 modes. They don't look brilliant, but it does the 6 modes. Then we've got Mike Gein. Cool. and then Mike Gein's buddies, and then they combine into Great Mike Gein,
Mike Gein's buddies.
and then Dan Kuga.
Yep, I've never been a fan of Dan Cougar.
I've never seen an uncombined Dan Kuga.
No, same.
What does Dan? Hang on, there's a question. Dan Kuga. What?
Dan.
I've never seen the individual mechs.
I've seen I've seen the mammoth on its own.
Let's see combination. Let's see that.
Because like his centerpiece is like a mammoth's trunk.
Yeah. Got Dan Kuga combination sequence. Here we go. I've never seen what the individual mechs look like. Because Dan Kuga is like, again, he's one of those ones who's kind of like just part of the cultural zeitgeist for super robots.
It's a classic, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if the show is any good. Like, okay, the mammoth's not bad.
No, the mammoth's all right, yeah.
Anyway, so let's move on to the Fig Soko gallery, which has less information. So I'm going to be working more off what's actually just given to us.
Which one's that? Which one's that start with?
So go with day 1. So So that does include. Let me just scroll up. So
what's the first one? Is it the
first
the
one?
Type 0?
Eureka 7 Type 0.
Okay. Yeah. I'm on the right one. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Does transform, which I'm surprised at.
Into whatever it's ever was meant to transform into. Oh, Eureka 7.
Oh, Eureka 7. What were you? Hang on. I had a list of some of these, so I'm going to try and bring that up.
I'm just going down the website blog entry to make it easier myself.
After him is some kind of police car robot I don't recognize.
I think I've
from
seen
Galvian.
Galvian. I haven't heard of it, but this again looks like something I've seen before.
Mm-hmm. It's not a bad design, actually. Simple and very, very classic.
I'm surprised it transforms for model kit.
There is definitely that. I'm very surprised. Okay, Good Smile US. Maybe you will have information I can. Yes, you do.
No.
Excellent, Good Smile US. Excellent.
No.
You have earned your chocolate this week.
No.
Now I need to scroll down. Although it's not in the same order. No. No.
It should be the
Good
red
Smile.
bike next.
Why are you shit? Why are you shit? Okay, so this guy is Cho Kosoko Galvian.
What, the red bike or the other one?
The blue guy. The red bike
okay.
is Megazone 20. Is from Megazone 23, and he's Garland.
Garlic. Okay, his name's Garlic.
Yeah, Garlic Jr. Again, transforming. Very surprised by that.
Yeah.
The next guy looks like he's from something similar. Is he from? No, he's from Super Dimension Century Orgus. I've never heard of that one. That
I'm
sounds
pretty
like
sure I remember seeing a Reveltech of this back in the day.
Oh, do you know what? I saw this on TV once.
Did you? When?
Yeah. This is a really really old anime. But this was on back when Satellite was trying to be cool and had anime stuff on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's not this is like 82, 83. It's not a bad design, honestly. It's kind of fun. Knight and King. Is that the mech or is that the show? Let me see. This is from Ganzord again. So these and Ganzord Reunite. All the chibi ones I'm just gonna rush through them. Some of them are cool, some of them I'm not interested. Okay. Bit more Night and Magic. Also, there's one of the centaur. You can get like 4 centaurs and have them drag a chariot.
Okay. Is this still on the chibi stuff?
No, just past that. It's onto Night and Magic stuff.
The first thing I see is a big blue robot.
Yep. So he's a big blue robot.
Is.
And then beneath him, you get this chariot, and you can attach a bunch of centaurs to it.
It's a shame it's from a terrible show, but you know.
Yeah, I haven't seen the show, but I did see a clip, and it looked very, hey, we're isekai.
Yeah, well, you know.
And then there's Icer Robo from Icer 1.
It looks more like Ultraman.
Yeah, he's definitely got a Toku vibe to him.
Dude in a suit. Not that that's a bad thing.
No, I mean, I love a Toku vibe. Icer 1, a horror Yuri manga, published in hentai magazine Lemon Purple.
The horror of lesbians.
Lesbians! The deadliest game of all.
Rock and roll.
And just published in the hentai magazine, apparently the hentai magazine that ran from 1982 to 1998.
Well, there was a pinnacle hentai magazine. I guess it makes sense.
This one caught me by surprise. Bloody Vandred's in this.
Is this the blue dude? I don't recognize him.
Yeah, Vandred was actually, I liked the anime back in the day. It was like, I watched it, would have been like 2005, 2006. They were just bringing in CGI into animes for mechs and stuff like that, and it was quite a shock. It was, to be honest, it was much smoother than what we get today.
Was it better than Knights of Sidonia?
No, like it was actually better animation in terms of movement and stuff than what we get today. I mean.
Yeah, that's good.
But yeah, man, I haven't thought about Vandred in years. That story. Weirdly engaging, that story. Which was basically men and women have somehow separated onto different planets, and there's a bunch of space pirates that raid a man ship, accidentally kidnap 3 men, and turns out like if they both use, like, also there's an alien power that takes over their ship and technically makes it alive, and then gives them ability to combine a really crappy little mech with giant, like the guy has this tiny little mech and the girls have these massive spaceships, and if you combine them they turn into this, and this is the main one.
What?
So it's not a bad show. In all honesty, it's honestly not bad. Also, weirdly enough, for the time, has a very prominent transgender character.
Okay.
Which, like, thinking about it, just like it's a weird thing. Like in the early 2000s in anime, Jesus. But and their approach to that was like have this really obviously designed as an anime girl character, and then just occasionally give her like this really deep voice. It's like maybe not the best portrayal of a transgender character ever, but it was still funny. But yeah, I'm kind of curious about that one. That's hitting a nostalgia button for me.
Okay.
Next one is from Patlabor. Yeah, it's kind of little spider bot thing.
It's a submarine with legs.
Yeah, basically. I like it.
It's all right. I mean, Patlabor I don't really care too much about, but you know.
No, I don't remember. I haven't seen Patlabor since it was on Sci-Fi, and I didn't love it then.
No.
Next is RoboCop.
No, it's not just RoboCop, Mikey. It's RoboCop 3 RoboCop.
RoboCop: The Revenge. Like they certainly got accurate articulation, as in none.
Well, you know,
accurate to a man who couldn't actually move.
I'm not. Although it would be fun to have like a super articulated RoboCop, I think it'd be weird to have him in like Spider-Man poses.
Yeah, I would laugh my ass off. I'd love it. The next one is from Armored Police Metal Jack.
Oh, I've heard of Metal Jack. I think
Hyper Metal Jack armor, which I believe can armor up like a combined.
He's even got a little pilot as well to fly the bike mode. That's cool.
It originally planned as a sequel to Deno Keitsai Cyber Cop, which was a toku.
Oh.
Which I'd never heard of. It was an attempt to recreate an old Sentai idea that got dropped. Slightly so it's basically dudes in Sentai type suits armoring up.
Yeah.
So and then it's an animated series, which was a vague sequel to it. So, I mean, I like that. It's got a Brave vibe to it.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like it could easily go into like not Firebird. What's it called? Dagwon. It looks like a Dagwon mold.
Yeah. The next one is kind of interesting. It's 3 different Tetsujins.
Yeah. Is it Tetsujins throughout the years? It's the black and white version, then an updated one, then a like super buff one.
Yeah, I know. Obviously, Tetsujin, which is like it is the granddaddy of them all. And I recognize him, and I recognize the guy next to him because that's from a remake. I don't recognize the super robot version,
super buff one. Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, like let's see that Tetsujin.
Well, he even comes with a big burb as well.
Yeah, because Tetsujin was like, man, like this came out 2 years after Godzilla. That's how old it is.
Oh yeah.
It's extremely old. So
probably
there's
inspired a bit by Godzilla as well, surely.
In
its own way.
Tetsujin 28FX came out in 1992.
Wow, my God.
That's for that kind of design. Not where I would have put it.
No, same.
The next one is what the hell is that? Next one is
that looks like Super Robot Wars.
He's a villain from Tetsujin FX.
Is he? Oh, okay.
How is that from the 90s?
Granted, I think the colors are a bit shitty on him because he's just black, but design-wise, he looks like what's his name from Super Robot Wars OG? Graviton?
Getsugan? The dragon one, is it?
No,
The
I'm
black one?
I'm thinking of the one that shoots the giant gravity balls at people.
Oh yeah. I know the one.
It's blue or
But
something.
man, that does not look like a 90s robot.
No.
Wow. I would never place that in the 90s. Next one is Megaton Musashi.
Is that the new
Megaton
thing that's
Q Musashi.
coming out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched the first season. It was surprisingly good, and then it got completely disappeared, and now it's back for a second season. I haven't watched any of it yet, but it was surprisingly good, in all honesty. Very classic Super Robot in how it was written.
Okay.
Next one is, who is this man made of blades? So I wouldn't be excited about getting a Megaton Musashi, but it is neat. Line Barrels of Iron, which I believe is a visual novel and a video game. I mean, it's all right. It's rather spiky.
Got no feet though.
Got no feet.
Looks like he might have difficulty standing potentially without a stand.
I mean, we both like Zone of the Enders.
Yeah. He has
they scoot, and I always played Zone of the Enders by having him land and scoot around, so he left that trail of sparks.
Oh yeah, because it was fun. It was stupid.
The next one is Getter Dragon.
I like Getter Dragon. I know you don't like him.
It is Shin Getter Dragon. It's not that I dislike him. It's just like I really do prefer Shin Getter. I was going to say Shin Mahjong. But I think this is a really nice rendition of him. And I like he's got the tomahawk. And you can hear Ryoma and Go and everyone else screaming inside him. And hopefully they'll do a version where you get a dragon to attach this dude onto.
I hate that mode. That mode's anus.
It's so fucking dumb, but evolution, man, you can't stop it. You literally can't stop it, because it either turns into a big dragon idiot and then it turns into Satan.
Mikey, we both know you can stop evolution with Head and Shoulders. David Duchovny proved that.
It's true. The next one, oh my god.
What?
Could it be any? So this is the Yamakazuchi from Kanazuki no Miko.
Okay.
Kanazuki no Miko was my introduction to the idea that people can be sexually assaulted in anime. Because there are two no, it's so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad.
Can it not just be about the robots, Mikey?
No, because it's about someone who will not take no for an answer from the girl she likes.
Oh my god.
And I mean, she gets in her space and she touches her inappropriately, and then there's a cutaway where she clearly just raped her.
Why isn't it just about robots?
And then you're supposed to like this person. You're supposed to sympathize with them in the end. And I'm just like, fuck you.
What about the robot? How does the robot play into this?
She's piloted by the dude the girl she raped liked.
Okay.
Who's a Miko, who's going to be sacrificed to the moon or some shit. And there's people on the moon who have giant robots. Yeah. Yep. It was a terror. You know what's annoying? Very pretty anime. Fucking hate it. Ra-Zephon from Ra-Zephon, which was basically kind of riding the Evangelion train.
Oh yeah, you can tell with the angel wings coming out of its head.
I'd look at its forehead. Look at its forehead. It's literally just they've ripped off 01's face.
Yeah. Either that or Renamon and painted it purple.
But yeah, so this, for anyone who doesn't know, after Evangelion, there was this not a huge rush of animes in the late 90s and early 2000s that were trying to be we're saying something big.
No, they weren't.
Something meaningful.
Evangelion didn't.
No, but then and in the middle of this, you just had Gao Gagar saying, "What you got, bitch?" So we move into some of the stuff we've already covered, which is just showing that they do transformations and other stuff. So on to day 2, which is the next one.
And that starts off with the all grey robot, right, with the massive shoulders.
With toes. So that's from Shikon from Gun Parade March.
Why does it have toes?
I don't know. It has a
Did
butt as well,
Tarantino make this robot?
Oh no! Let's see. Gun Parade March. Are they doing the it's a robot? No.
It's not human either. It's got 3 toes.
It's a Japanese video game from 2000s. I've never heard about this.
Oh, okay.
World War II ended by an alien race appeared and slaughtered humanity. Phantom Beast effectively taken over. Blah blah blah. To ensure
Phantom
the
Beast.
future.
Is that spirits
Yeah.
within Final Fantasy you're talking about there?
Oh God! Why would you say that?
Because you
Why
said
would
Phantom
ever-
Beasts.
Why would you ever remind anyone that exists?
Because I saw it in the cinema.
Shikon is a humanoid. Why would you see? Oh, actually, no. Back then, we didn't know.
We didn't know. We had no idea. It was very pretty. And Steve Buscemi, right?
Yeah, it was for the time. Basically, I think in many ways it was the avatar of its time. Huge technological jump. Why am I watching this?
I would argue that I don't like Avatar, but Avatar is better than Spirits Within.
Oh yeah, I'll give you that. But still,
Yeah.
Gun Parade Mark. So like Shikon is a human. They did an anime where they change it so it doesn't have the toe. So in the game it has the toes, but in the anime they took the toes out.
I guess they decided it was too hard to animate the toes, which is fair enough.
Next is I'll Know a Zero, which I've been meaning to watch because it is an Butcher.
Is this the KG6 Slim Fnir?
Lightyear.
That's what I said. Yeah, Slim
Yeah.
Fnir. This is in Robochi.
Yeah.
Huh.
The idea is that it was like someone's piloting this, and this is like a generic mech, and he's up against like custom, almost super robot things, and he's such a good pilot that all these customs just keep on getting their ass kicked.
Oh wow, that sounds fun. Is it good in Robochi one, or is it just like one of his? Meh.
Got good reviews at the time, but like I've just never gone back to it.
Fair enough. Okay.
I have like a list of like things I have that are just like one day I'll watch them, maybe before I'm dead. The next is from Hagane no Oni. And this is Hagane, which is technically not a mech. From what I was doing a little research on this because I saw this earlier on. I said, what the hell? It is a gigantic demon being piloted by a dude who's using it to fight another gigantic demon.
So it's kind of like Devilman.
Evangelion.
Oh. Oh no, you're right. Yeah.
I'd say it's more like Devilman Lady if you're going to go that regard because she did turn giant. I don't think Devilman did.
I don't know.
Again, that had lots of rape too. Hey, well, it was
Go
Go Nagai. Go Nagai. Now, weirdly enough, like once you say Go Nagai, people just go, go.
Oh, what a lad. What a lad.
What a charmer. I like the design. Like the design on this is kind of like organically nuts. It's clearly from the same era.
Yeah, it reminds me of the Yu-Gi-Oh card, the Skull Demon card he had, whatever that was called. I'm sure it's not, but yeah, I kind of like the design on it. It's kind of neat. I wouldn't want it, but it's neat.
I would kind of be tempted by that one. Like, I bet it'd be a bitch to paint.
Yeah.
But next one is from Demon's Bane, which was another game turned anime, and this thing is like Gurren Lagann, Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann scale power.
God damn, look at them shins.
I was going to say, all the power is in its shins.
Yeah, you don't say. Jesus.
So, I mean, no, I don't like you.
No.
I don't like you, Demon Bane. This one is interesting. This is Muramasa from Full Metal Damon Muramasa.
It's an interesting design.
I like it a lot, and I was looking up what it's from.
There's no way it looks like this when you build it.
I would say you would have to put like there. Look at that fading on the blades.
Yeah, there's so much like the little tiny specks of gold on the shoulder pads.
Yeah.
There's no way that this isn't the painted finished product. Yours is gonna look shit compared to this, guaranteed. People of the internet.
Yeah, this is one where like it's like I can't decide if it's going to be like, oh, it's fun to paint up, or it's like frustrating because there's so much to do. But
no, because you'll mess up and it won't be as good as this. That's how that works.
Oh, it'll never be as good as this. But I'm happy to paint as long as they don't go like this if they're going on for 6 hours and I've done nothing. But I looked this one up, and this is an interest. Again, this is porn. This is based on porn.
Great design.
But this is based on porn that is considered the best written visual novel in recent years.
Porn-wise, or just in general?
In general, it's considered like one of the best visual novels to come out since like Steingate era.
Huh.
And like it got super well. It's apparently incredibly dark, but it's like got rave reviews and it got loads of rewards. And it's like it did so well that it got a censored version in the US. Which for any visual novel like that, like any porn visual novels, unless they're being sold on porn website, this got sold in regular websites. This got sold like this wasn't even part of like Steam's like weird thing where they do censored visual novels, which you can then pay extra money to get decensored.
How porny is this? Is this like Project Melody kind of porn stuff, or is this just like a small amount?
I think this is like there's a few animes like this where it's just like here's the plot, sex.
Oh, so Fate.
Plot, sex.
Yeah, Fate. Okay, that's fine.
That's fine. Oh yeah, Andy's up for it.
Yeah.
Next one is listed
Voltron.
here as Voltron. What's the Go Lion? Is that it?
Yeah, whatever.
I don't know. I mean, it's fine.
Yeah.
I've never loved his design.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Next is Thunderbirds 2086 Techno Voyager.
It's not my Thunderbirds.
No, God, that is going.
That's it.
I don't even
fucking
remember
terrible
Thunderbirds
model kit.
2086.
Look at this fucking model kit.
What? What's wrong with it, Andy?
It's just fucking planes. It's shoes stuck together. You could make this out of cardboard.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. There's your answer.
What's the next one? Dygard from
Dygard. I like Dygard's design.
He's a chunky boy.
Yeah, I hear the show's okay. I remember my friends Chris and Phil tried to get me to watch it at one point, but they sold the DVD, so then I never got around to watching it. Like, you got rid of it. Can't watch it.
Yep. Another one from Legend of Heroes. So this is Azure Knight. I don't know. Looks very similar to the other one, just kind of blue. After that, we've got... Oh, yeah, this is from the Nadesco movie.
This is the black giant robot thing. Oh, it's
basically, the movie, I should say, the movie was atrocious.
Yeah.
Oh, so bad. But basically, it's like gone... You know how I said it was mostly a comedy?
Yeah.
With, like, serious stuff. This became, like, it's all dark and gritty. It's all serious.
Yeah.
And, like, it's basically, like, he literally just put black armor on the Estevalis.
I'm not pink.
So
I'm not pink. I'm edgy now.
I'm edgy. You've got feelings.
Yeah.
The next is one I'm very happy to see.
Yeah.
Eldorado 5.
Yeah.
Which is from...
And it combines. Goddamn.
Yeah. So, and it's got both the Eldorado 4 and the Eldorado 5.
You only won 5, though.
Yeah, you only ran 5.
Do you think they're going to do like a web exclusive where it's in gold mode?
Oh, that probably actually. So this is, for anyone who doesn't know, this is from Gunsword. Gunsword basically represented every genre of mecha.
Mikey, have you got the Eldorado 5 yet in Super Robot Wars?
No, I've got Dan, but I haven't got the Eldorado 5.
Oh man, it's great. He's not like technically a very good mech, but I always use it because they do all the moves and it's great.
Yeah, I love him. I love the Eldorado 5.
Yeah.
So that's something I always liked about Gunsword. It was just like, yeah, we just have fun here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically it's Bird Gao Gar, for anyone who doesn't know.
Yeah, not bad way to describe it, to be fair.
No, I'd say if you put it next to the real grade, you'd be just like, oh, well, you tried. But
it's different. It's different.
Next one up is Classic Gridman and Dynarex.
Yeah.
So you can armor them up into Thunder King Gridman, I think it was called.
That sounds about right. I wonder how it'll stack up compared to the Super Mini Pla.
That's a very good question.
Yeah.
And then there's Full Power Gridman and Six Changer, who was actually 7. Was he 6? No, he was 7 Changer, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, it says on the slides here, perfect 7 change. Yeah. 7.
And he was the Garn, yeah. And then there's a display set as well for the Garn. And then you got Mike Gine. You got the robots from Mike Gine, and they all combine into a big robot.
Yeah,
and
Mightier Gine.
Mightier Gine. Is there anyone else? Nope, that's it. So
that's it. Wow.
Mike Gine, great Mike Gine, perfect mode.
That's a hell of an amount of model kits to be revealed at the beginning of the year.
For 1 year as well.
Yeah, goddamn.
My thing with this, like I said, I say, like, I would be very interested in getting some of these. But Motoroid... my only experiences in Motoroid has been Majin Kaiser Skull, which was hollow as all balls, and the plastic felt really cheap. And Deckard, who I was really excited for, and then like he didn't feel great in the hand. He doesn't feel great to pose. And then when I was like panel lining one of the hands, the plastic reacted to the chemicals in the panel line and melted at one point. So. I mean, maybe I'll go in on one of these and see it, because like it was a few years ago. Like we've seen how much like kits can like real grade change so much over a couple of years.
Oh yeah, totally, 100%.
So maybe I'll try one of these in the year, and see maybe Big O or Eldorado or Eldor 5, sorry.
Would you just choose the first one that you kind of have an interest in, or do you think you'll wait for one of the ones you actually really would prefer, like the Eldorado 5?
I think it would be one I really prefer because at least then when I'm building it, if something does go wrong, I'm just like, at least I like what I'm building.
At least I love you.
Yeah, like I have no interest in trying that and then going like, yay,
that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, like that was really interesting to go through.
Yeah. Not a lot of things that I would want to pick up myself, but it's interesting to see just how much shit they're putting out. They're putting out a lot.
Oh yeah. Bandai's always putting out a lot, but it never looks like it because, it's
all
releases, it's all Gundam and it releases and here's 5. Here's another 5. Here's another 5.
And it's HG, and it's master grade, but it's all kits that you've seen them do before. So you go, all right. That was the RX-78 again. We got one last year. We're gonna get another one this year. It's okay.
They nearly had me with the full armor, which is just the RX-78 with armor.
I saw you say that. I was like, oh, Mikey.
And then I was just like, but I like it a lot better. It's kind of like the Master
Grade. It's because there's more to it. It's more interesting design, but still.
And I thought that I got the Master Grade for the blue one, and I really like it. Like I'll be honest, like the RX-78 version 2 kit was a good kit. It's just like it looks so boring, and so like in blue at least it was interesting, and then with all the full armor stuff, which I've glued on, will never take off. Like it looks a lot better. But then it's like, how much?
How much?
55.
Ew. How big?
For it's 144.
Oh.
And it's premium Bandai.
Sorry, when you said 50, I was like, he means master grade. He's being silly.
No, it's premium Bandai. But then again, that's more expensive than the full cloth. That's more expensive than the Crossbone. The hand guy from Crossbone. I've never gotten a high grade premium Bandai that was more than 40.
No.
Like,
no. You have yet to get one so far. Is what you mean?
Yeah, apparently there is one. It's just like no.
Yeah. All in time, my sweet supple friend. All in time.
Yeah, I think I'll skip this one.
Oh,
I'd rather spend that money.
This one, the next
this
one, maybe not.
Yeah, just like what's the next one? We're doing the X13 half cloth. Fuck you. Which is a black crossbone with one shoulder pad.
You are a sucker, a sap.
I am.
One might say for the crossbone.
Yeah, I was looking for the SD cross. What's it called? Cross silhouette one during the week. I can't find it at the moment, but it'll be back there.
Cerebro UK said, "Pout. I used to love Thunderbird 2086."
Well, you were wrong.
No, you can like it. It's just the design of the model kit looks really unappealing because it just looks so flat. Like it's going to be like one sprue. That's kind of what it looked like. I mean, that's hyperbolic, but you know what I mean.
Oh yeah. But yeah, Ayo.
Yeah. So what else you been up to this week, Mikey? What you done for fun, son?
So I got Dragstrip.
Oh my god.
So I was in TK Maxx just wandering around, and he was there for tenner. So I said, yeah.
Did we just talk about this in DMs, or did we talk about this last week? I can't remember.
DMs, I think.
Okay.
Because I haven't had him for more than a few days.
You
if
like
I'm repeating
him?
myself. Yeah, no, he's good. Very interesting transformation. Very original. And yeah, you really wouldn't know he combined, except he's a little bit wibbly in one place, where you can kind of see like, okay, there's a bit of a wiggle.
Would you agree that he needs a bit more paint on like his shins? Like he just needs one bit of silver on, the square bits, and then maybe a bit of red around the outside of that, just to give it a bit more, a bit more wow sauce.
And apparently he's like like in Motor Master, you can only have him be the one arm.
Yeah, I was stupid. I haven't checked to see if he can go on the other arm or not.
Apparently it's to do with the pin and the thing, and I think that's a huge mistake. Especially since they've done Shadow Strip, and like you could have had an asymmetrical looking Motor Master or Menosaur then.
Maybe that's why they decided not to do it.
They would still have sold the same amount. Actually, they would have just made more money because Shadow Strip's more expensive.
No.
Yeah, money.
That end goes on one arm. Shush.
And I don't care how much everyone's complaining about Dead End. It goes on one arm. Because everyone's complaining about Dead Ends.
Are they complaining about Dead End?
Everyone, basically, they've complained about every mold that isn't Dragstrip and Motor Master.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, to be fair, again, Wild Rider, because that's a reuse of like the Combiner Wars transformation, it's like, okay, fair enough. And I mean, Breakdown, you look at him and you go, oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but I like him. He's in vehicle mode at the moment. We're just fiddling with him. But I also built which one is it? X Standard SD New Gundam. So basically, it's the New Gundam, but chibi.
Okay, fair enough.
With better proportions than the standard chibi, so legs are a little longer, arms are a little longer, stuff like that. Not into the age where they were like properly posable, which is what the Cross Silhouette one was. They have a proper little mini frame inside them. I haven't gotten one yet, so I want that. You know me. I'm saying like I want to try every grade at least once.
Sure.
This was a really fun build. Nice, simple. I spent a lot of time in it because I lined everything because he's mostly white. I use a couple of stickers, but only in a couple, like basically bits that I knew. Like you can't really paint, like without a primer or something, you can't really paint anything that's black with like white. Like you need to put white over it, and it was just like that would look bad. Same with red. Actually, you have to use red on light colors. But yeah, I like his accessory loadout. He comes with a shield and a couple of guns. Really fun to paint up. Looks really good as well. Like it's one of those ones where like the head proportions would work on a large kit.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, and he's it's a cool design. I've always liked the New Gundam's design. It's a bit mad, and it's not really that important in the anime, but it's cool. It's cool. It is like the most popular Gundam in Japan, I believe.
Yeah, like people really love the New Gundam.
I prefer the Hi-Nu myself. I would like maybe less blue on the Hi-Nu and have more black. But
I was gonna say, I think the problem with the Hi-Nu for me is it's very just white and then blue, and the blue's just more like a highlight color. So just kind of, it's a bit visually boring for me in terms of the colors.
Well, that's why we have paint. He says, having not painted anything since he did the Flame Toys Nova Prime.
But the paint still exists, so you still can do it.
That is true. I need better white, though, because that ran like mad. I'll get white primer instead. What else did I do this week? Didn't watch Nier this week. Just didn't get a chance. I will check it out, because we should be, if they are going to start doing original stuff, it's probably in the next couple of episodes.
All right.
I did watch Gundam. So I'm up to date on Gundam The Witch from Mercury.
Same. I finished it. All 12 episodes, right?
Yeah, I'll let you kick that one off, and then we'll go into it. So that is on its first core break, and then that's back in a couple of months.
So this is like part 1 of the season, right?
Yeah, they're right now a lot of people are saying season 1, and it's doing what Iron Blooded Orphans did, which is like go over a core, take a core off, come back, and then I suspect it'll go for a 2-year run.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Iron Blood Orphans had 2 seasons, so...
Yeah, so it'll still get about 50-ish episodes that is typical for a Gundam show, but it'll be over 2 years. So I expect that the aerial will be upgraded many times. Watch Geats.
What episode are we up to with Geats at the moment?
18.
Okay.
They've
it's been
changed
a while
the
since I watched
structure.
it.
Yeah, they've changed the structure into being reality TV. It's moving into world-revealing stuff, and all I'm going to say is, like, I realize now why all the monsters are plants.
Oh.
And there's a couple of reveals in here just make like, someone's been watching Gaim.
Well, that's a good thing, potentially.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. It's definitely good. I told you I watched Strange Worlds, didn't I, last week?
Yes.
The big one this week was... randomly to me, one of the cinemas near me was playing Shin Ultraman for a day.
Why?
And
that's random for cinema just to randomly do, right?
So it had its non-Japanese release.
Huh, okay.
But it basically only for 2 days.
Oh, yeah, well.
Globally.
Yeah, sure.
Only 1 day in Ireland.
Wait, I didn't think you liked Ultraman.
Well, it's Japanese. I don't like a lot of Dragon Ball, but I still want to see Dragon Ball because it's just like I want them to do more weird Japanese shit.
That's fair. That's fair.
And I had a voucher as well, so I didn't have to pay a penny. So yeah, and for anyone who doesn't know, I'm into Toku, I'm into Kaiju and stuff like that. I'm not really into Ultras. I've watched a bit, and like I just don't like a lot of the filming, like the way action and stuff is played out in Ultra doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
It's too fast and too human.
Yeah, there's no weight, right?
It's really always because it's like classic kaiju suits, and it's usually very classic designs. Ultra is very tied to its heritage. And a human, basically a human in spandex. Like, to me, the fights never work. Like, I will give a lot of credit to modern Ultra because it does some crazy stuff with camera work. Like, some really cool stuff with camera work and cinematography to try and give a sense of weight, but everything moves too fast and so on and so on. It's not for me. People who love Ultraman, like, they said some of the recent stuff like Zed and Geed are really, really good. And they're available on YouTube, so maybe sometime I'll sit down and watch Zed. I have seen some Ultra stuff that I like, but that was more kaiju based, like the Ultra Galaxy movies. But anyway, so Shin Ultraman, made by the same Higuchi and Anno, which are the team that were behind Shin Godzilla. Anno is a huge Ultra fan, and in fact did at least a large part of the motion capture for Ultraman in this.
Oh, that's fun.
It must have been interesting considering there's a lot of bending over, and he's not the youngest man in the world. Basic story is a bunch of kaiju who've been showing up for a while. An Earth team forms to deal with them, and then during one of their missions, a giant falls from the sky. It kills the kaiju, flies off, and totally does not accidentally murder a dude and take over his body. So it's a lot like spoilers here for something I love, which is Gridman. It's a lot like Gridman with Yuta, how it's like secretly it's actually Gridman the whole time. It's actually Ultraman Ultraman is the main character of this. The actors are like a lot of like repeating actors. You've seen them in Tokus and stuff like that. One of the main guys is from the guy who portrayed Kotaro in Black Sun.
Oh, okay. The new one, you mean?
Yeah. Very good actor.
Yeah.
Like, I will say this, like, right off the bat, the cast is excellent. The cast knocks it out of the park in terms of their performances. Really, really solid. Effects are pretty on par as well. Like, I'd say the CG is overall maybe a little less polished than Shin Godzilla was, but I'd also say there's a ton more of it.
Okay.
So I would say, like, it's still got that weird filter. Like, Shin Godzilla had that little yellow filter on everything. But which is very common in like Toku stuff these days. But it's pretty impressive how well it's put together. Unfortunately, I think it's an absolute mess of a film. It's a very enjoyable mess. It's a very enjoyable mess, but it's a mess. It is in love with the 1960s to a fucking fault. And I mean a fault. Like, every movement Ultraman makes, how he flies, how he takes off, anything to do with the flying pose, it's all 60s. Like, the way he flies is like, it's like he goes up, there's the 60s sound effect, and it looks like a model is being dragged up on a string.
Keep talking about Ultraman, Mikey. I'll be back in a bit, okay?
Yeah. I'm going to pause, because, like, there's no point me talking about it to, like, the empty air, and then Andy coming back and going like, hope everyone's okay. Hope you're all doing well. That you've shaken off the post-Christmas blues and everything else. Hopefully you're all, ready for Easter and in Ireland, St. Patrick's Day, which is bigger than Easter really, because, we all get drunk. Which is a racist stereotype, but is also kind of true. But hey, like, we've got to accept these things about ourselves, We've got to manage our time and our lives in a way where we accept that maybe when people say all the Irish people are drunk, they're not entirely wrong. But yeah, I hope you're all good and enjoying this increasingly dragged out chat of me going like, yeah, like really thinking off the cuff here and trying to stop my screen from going into sleep mode, which I'm actually going to disable now as I speak of it. Because it really goes into sleep far, far too quickly. Also good news, Andy.
Okay.
Before you come back, the screen went into sleep mode there for a second. When I came back, Audacity had completely crashed.
Oh. Good.
Yeah, recording's gone.
Well, I mean, thank God I'm doing the live streaming, so.
Yeah, so I'm very grateful for that. So, hey, live. Anyway, Ultraman. So, I basically just talked about nothing because I was talking into here about Ultraman and having you come back and go,
So you finished talking about Ultraman, or?
No, I haven't even started yet. I just started talking nonsense for the audience.
No, you were meant to keep going with Ultraman.
No, you need to hear about it.
No.
Yes.
Aw. You wasted their time for no reason.
No. You were just like, I need to leave, and if I leave while you're talking about this, I don't have to hear it.
No,
but
I had work to do.
You've done your work now. We had a nice chat, didn't we, everyone? So anyway, Ultraman. The script is terrible. The script is 4 episodes of an old show rammed together.
An old show.
An old show. A 1960s Ultraman show all rammed into one movie. It is an absolute mess. The pacing
it's based off of like a few episodes then?
No.
Oh, sorry, that's what I thought you meant. It is. Oh, right, okay.
The structure of it is like they took 4 episodes and edited out half of them. The pacing's insane. People talk a literal mile a minute. It's like
that's kind of how the Shin Godzilla felt when they were doing all the political stuff. At least to me, that's how it felt.
There's a fair amount of political stuff in this.
So they really have gone off the Shin Godzilla kind of building structure.
The camera and the editing is the camera shots are ridiculous sometimes. Just like tight in on everyone's face and like, we can do an inventive shot here. We can do. Like, there's a point where you just have to hold a shot. Or like have a shot in the traditional area. And the editing is so aggressive. It's so fucking aggressive. It's a mess. Like, it reminds me of The Last Night.
Right. In a good way?
No, because it holds in a shot for 5 seconds and then changes every 5 seconds. While people are talking a mile a minute. So my brain's not able to keep up. And then like the Ultraman himself has no weight at all.
Well, I guess it's in keeping with Ultraman. So
the kaiju don't look too bad, and they've got like the right sound effects and stuff like that. Although they've only got one roar, and it's Godzilla.
Okay.
Which is really distracting. But Ultraman, when he walks, there's no sound.
Really?
There's
no big boom, boom, boom.
Occasionally, like if he falls, you'll hear a boom, but it's like frequently no sound. The way he moves feels way too light. Like. They were in love with the show Ultraman in this, and if you're not an Ultraman fan, it's just highlighting everything that doesn't work about that franchise.
So I mean, great if you love the original Ultraman, though.
Yeah, right? It's gone down like gangbanger with a lot of people, but when people have criticism, it is the same. And if you actually like, people are going like Rotten Tomatoes is amazing. It's just like, yeah, but look at the actual ratings on Rotten Tomatoes, like 5 out of 10.
It's why the Rotten Tomatoes and those kind of movie sites mean nothing, because it's like it's either rotten or it's fresh, and it just there's no nuance.
Yeah, it's like it's not getting great scores. It's just, and I just thought it was a mess. I thought it was fun, and like I said, I thought the cast was great, but I just
but messy,
what the fuck?
fun but messy.
What the fuck? Yeah. I would never recommend paying to see this. I would say watch it at home. It doesn't need to be big screen. Like I said, I didn't pay to see it, so hey-o. But watch it if you can for a laugh. You might enjoy it more than I did in terms of that way. But it's so crazy as well. It's so frenetic that it's kind of enjoyable.
Okay.
It's weird, but it is a mess. It is an absolute mess, and it is basically everything wrong with Shin Godzilla amplified. Because at least Shin got the weight and movement right, and had that, I don't like Shin Godzilla, but I will never take away from that atomic breath scene.
That was cool.
Masterfully done.
Yeah.
And like the cinematography in that, there is not a single shot in this that comes close to that kind of cinematography. Like it's insane. It is insane, and everyone making this must have been high at the time. It's the only explanation. But yeah, that's my week. What about you, Andy?
Well, should we talk about Gundam?
Gundam, boy.
Yeah, so I caught up on the however many episodes of Gundam Witch of Mercury.
I was halfway through, and then I had to catch up in the last 6.
I think I watched from like episode 7 or 8, something like that, because I saw like everybody posting up the video of the hand smush.
And no spoilers, by the way.
Yeah, spoilers. I wouldn't say there any spoilers.
It was hard to escape, but if you aren't keeping up with Gundam or anything like that, I would say there are spoilery.
Well, I don't know, man. I saw the hand smush and I was like, oh, it's going to be on a really important character, because I didn't watch the whole clip. I just saw the Gundam smoosh somebody, but I didn't know who it was. And then I watched the episode and went, oh, it's nothing. Is this what the internet's making a big deal about? You're going to have to explain to me, Mikey, why this was quote unquote traumatizing for some people. Because I don't get it.
There are twofold reasons. Which one would you like?
I don't care. I want the one where I won't like rub my temples and be annoyed by people.
Well, in story.
Okay.
I'll give you the in-story reason. People have, Celeste has very much been portrayed as innocent and everything else like it's a positive thing. Because apparently they forgot the first episode, which is her murdering people as a baby.
That's why I didn't. Maybe that's why I didn't.
The first episode was very dark, actually. When I think back to
it was interesting. It was a Gundam episode.
So everyone's gotten like used to the idea that she's basically kind of this harmless, innocent person, and then this is reminding you that there is one, her mother's a manipulative bitch, and two, clearly there's something not entirely right in her head. Which is because she killed the guy, which was bad, and then she came down, slipped in his blood, and made a joke and tried to laugh it off.
Yeah, because she saw herself as she saved her friend, groom, whatever's life.
Yes, but in general, it's like, oh my god, are you okay? Not, haha, sorry, I slipped. And having your hand covered in blood and then reaching out to someone.
I don't know. I didn't think. I thought she was a bit mean by saying, "Oh, you're a murderess." Being like, all right, fuck you, bitch.
I think it's like because she's one thing they have done is actually portray them as children for once, which is she is never seen anyone die, and it's someone she cares about who's like grinning from ear to ear, covered in someone else's blood. I could say that'd be disturbing. The meta,
ungrateful.
The meta reason is in part because even like long-term Gundam fans, I would say, got rather comfortable with the setting of this show, which is weird because I have something to say about setting. But
I was bored by the setting, aggressively bored.
This show had the widest net of any Gundam show in years. It attracted a huge number of people who are into high school animes, who are into like tournament stuff, who are into lesbian stuff. The Japanese female Yuri fandom exploded onto the show. It like slice of life stuff, anything like that. It really drew in a huge audience, and they got a bit shocked.
Are you saying they got debated?
Like, I remember, like, episode 6 ends with Elan being atomized.
Which one's Elam?
The one who has all the clones, and he pilots the Faract, and then the original pilot gets like shot with the Faract or something.
That's
like that.
Right. Yeah.
And then people were like, "Oh God!" But they were not expecting anything like this. And because they came into the show because of the things that were not traditionally Gundam. And now they've just been like, okay, cool. So that's dark. Now, I would say, like, I've seen enough Gundam now to say this is a bit darker than what will show up in some shows. Like, it's darker than anything that happened in Seed. But then again, so is anything, because Seed was a pain in the arse.
I don't know. I think Seed Destiny has some dark bits in it, but I can't remember. The only thing I really remember about Seed is being annoyed by it.
The darkest thing about Seed is woman has sex with a man because she's trying to convince him to murder himself. Which I don't think is as dark as this. I just think she's the most interesting character in the show.
Based.
Like,
kill yourself, I'll have sex with you. Let me consider this.
She's just the most interesting character in the show.
I can't remember which woman this is that you're talking about. Which
the one that everyone hates because she did that.
Oh, her. Yeah. She sucks. Yeah, she's really annoying.
But she's more interesting than anyone else in that show. She is more more.
You can't see Mikey. I'm shrugging. It's like, yeah.
I'm not wrong. Culturally, it's just like, what the fuck did I just watch? Because this was not the show I signed on for. So those would be the two reasons. In story, it's people are reacting to like, oh, what happened to my innocent girl? Mm-hmm. And again, she laughed, murdering people with a giant robot as a baby. And out of it, it's just like, we did not sign up for this, because this has like a huge audience in Japan. And
I'm shocked, because I don't like this show.
I know you don't. But
I was aggressive. I don't mind it. The entire premise of the show, I from day one not day one, because it's like episode 0. I was like, I like episode 0. Episode 1, high school drama. I'm like, okay. And we go 11 episodes, and it's just solid high school drama for 90% of it.
Here's the thing, you don't.
What do you mean?
You hit about episode 9 and they leave the high school.
Yeah, finally.
Episode 10. But they leave the high school. So I was
it
actually
starts
about
turning
this.
into a Gundam show around the end part of it. And episode 12 is the first time I went, oh, it's a Gundam show finally. It's still not great. I wasn't like amazed by it. It wasn't doing anything that I hadn't seen before for a Gundam series. Because you've got the duo of the crazy girl from Earth and the very stoic girl from Earth. And I was like, Gundam X, sort of. It's like, oh, okay, fair enough. She has the sexual rivalry now with Celeste, who Celeste doesn't know it, but that seems to be the deal with that.
And your man Guel goes off and changes his name as is wont to do in Gundam.
Yes, so I was like, yeah, okay, fair enough. It's okay. Yeah, but there was, like I said, way too much like school slice of life stuff with a bit of tournament stuff in there, and it just held no interest for me. The only bits I did care about was the political stuff, and that was such a minute, small part of the 12 episodes that I was just going along. And when I saw this big reaction to it online, I thought, oh man, episode 12 must be doing something crazy. And it wasn't anything crazy. It's okay.
I do enjoy high school animes if the story is well told or something like that. I think the story here is fine. I don't think it's anything terrible or exceptional or anything like that. It's not exciting. But what I was thinking of is that the problem with this anime is that it created this setting and then it did nothing with this setting, because nothing that happens in this anime has anything to do with this setting. Like, if you actually think about it, like, we introduced the idea that the Gundams are like hated for what they are. Yeah. Like, and what they do to people, which, look, like, maybe the angle is going to be like, that's the point. It's not a good thing that this thing exists. You should blow the Ariel the fuck up. Which, considering she's alive, is probably a bit mean, but which is also something I wish they'd just get into. They've been hinting at it for like...
Mikey, you've seen Japanese animes before where they hint at things being alive. It'll never happen. At best, it'll be something that you'll be... At best, you'll be like, this was a thing that they should have covered, but never did. Again.
Yep. But, like, we don't know anything about this school, really. We don't really understand what this school is for. It's like
I have no idea how it
piloting.
works.
And we don't see everyday life, really. We see very little of the actual school system and the interactions there. The only thing we see of is that if someone challenges you to a duel, you have a duel. It's just like, why is this a system in school? Why is Marone basically a tournament prize?
Is the school like a 3-tier system of like engineers, business people, and dueling, or is there something else to it?
Marone's a pilot as well. That's the thing.
Yeah, I again, like you say, they don't explain what the school is.
Why is she a prize because Dad's in charge?
I don't know. I don't know why everybody wants to pork her either. It must be because she's the president's daughter.
Yeah, like he said, like, oh, if you win the duels, you become her fiance and inherit my company. Like, I get that much, but it's like, why?
Yeah.
And like that, and then like, while this is going on, people are constantly mocking the idea of the duels, and then they hit a stage and they just leave the school, and they suddenly go into having a company, and then now the people who were in the school are now trying to murder the people who they were saying they were trying to help before.
Are they still learning when they form a company inside the school?
She's like they're now like a company that's like developing Gundam
while they're in the school.
Tech. I don't think they're in the school.
No, they are in the school because that's where the warehouse is.
I thought they had their own ship.
Yeah, they do, but they seem to. But they also have that warehouse, which is where they're storing the Ariel, which is on school grounds.
But it's like,
it does make sense. It's what's going on. That's why I was confused when you said they left the school. It's because they only really left the school in episode 11 and 12. Yeah, but otherwise they're still in the school doing just the company stuff.
Why are you in a school? Because nothing about your show is based on this concept. Nothing.
No.
It could have been you're working for the company, and you would have to change nothing. Like, you could still have the stupid tournament Duralax and the idea of you can buy my daughter by killing this guy or ripping out the helmet off his robot. Like, it's very strange to me. I don't hate the show. I'm enjoying it well enough, but it's not memorable to me. It's not going to go down there with X or something like that, where like, this is really good. And to be blunt, I still think Re-Rise is much better. I think it told a better story. I think it had better action. I think it had more engaging characters. But
I don't like Re-Rise as much as you, but I will say that it's more engaging than this was or is, and the premise is at least set up and makes some sort of sense.
They introduce their idea and then follow up on it.
Yeah.
What I would say about this is I like most of the mech designs.
The designs for the robots are really good. I wasn't too fussed about the two Gundams from Earth because they're designed to look a bit flat and generic, and they do.
Yeah.
But the Ariel's really good design. Looks great.
Yeah. Weirdly, I like the upgrade. I think adding more blue was a good idea. It made her look less like the RX-78.
It looks really similar to one of the other Gundam designs, but I can't put my finger on it. You know the really, really big Gundam kit? It's huge. It's massive, and it's got a lot of blue on its shoulders as well. It kind of reminds me of whatever that one is, which I know is not...
the Sentinel.
Is that the
The
one?
S, it's the S and the XS.
Is that the one? Maybe that's it.
Yeah, also one where we're basically like the robots in charge, because if I remember right, the main character, like the pilot's in that, but the pilot's not the main character. The AI is the main character.
Oh, they wouldn't do that for an anime. They switched that around quickly.
It got a manga and it didn't get anything else apparently. But no, it got a novel.
All right.
But that's the XS or the S. It's like it starts as the S and then they upgrade and it becomes excessive. But yeah, it's a weird one. I'm gonna try it again. I'm gonna keep watching it when it comes out, but
I think I'm going to hear more people enjoy it than I'll actually enjoy it, but I'll watch it just to try and glean some of what they're talking about, to see if, because I'd be interested to see if they would get anything out of like Iron-Blooded Orphans or After Wars Gundam X or something like that.
Well, I think X is so underrated.
Oh, yeah. I told you about that show because it's like, man, it came out either just before or just after Wing and no one talks about it. It's like, damn, what a shame.
Before Wing.
I can't remember. It was one of them. Oh, yeah, because G Gundam's after Wing, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm just checking. Okay, who's writing and directing this? I'm just checking.
I think it would be easier for people who enjoy Witch of Mercury would have an easy time switching over to Re-Rise.
Yeah,
for tone, it's not nearly as dark.
It's got some moments, but
it's got moments. Yeah,
its moments are more like spread out, and it's a good one for. I think if you want to try a Gundam show, it's still pretty atypical because of what they're dealing with. Their narrative is focused on something that you don't get in many Gundam shows, which is basically.
It's not as heavy on the war motif, which every other Gundam show has.
It's more superhero-y.
Yes. Yeah.
So let me just see, because I've been curious about this. I forgot to check. So the writer for this, anything noteworthy? He did the series composition for Devilman Crybaby.
What do you mean the series composition?
So basically like what gets added to Crybaby and what doesn't from Gai's work.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Done a few mechs. Space Dandy. He did a few episodes of Space Dandy. Guilty Crown. Oh wow.
What are you seeing?
This is one I think will like make you blink.
Oh no.
He is the creator, series composition, and screenplay writer for Code Geass.
Oh, okay.
And Raz Efon.
I'd say Code Geass is. It's more consistent with its like school setting. It actually feels like a school.
He also did a lot of work for Turn A, which is not one I'd recommend to newbies. That was one I watched as a newbie, and that was a mistake. And but I was like, I've been mechas for years, so at least I had that much. But I think
the problem as well with Turn A is it's written like it's written like an older anime, so it's clunky.
It's very slow,
slow.
But it's not just that it's slow; it has the worst soundtrack to action on screen matchup I've ever seen.
Very little progression, which is due to the pacing, of course, but very little progression.
You'll find like clips of like fight scene from Turn A. It looks really cool, and just like those are very, very far apart.
Very far, yeah.
But like, I'll never get over how like this, like the soundtrack does not match what's going on screen at all.
Yeah, if you saw those clips online, you'd think someone's taking the piss and like using the wrong music. It's like, nope.
That's happy music is when the guy is dying to highlight that war is hell.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was not expecting to see the guy behind Code Geass is the main writer on this.
Same. Main Code Geass or the weird like movies and offshoot?
Code Geass and Code Geass R2.
Oh yeah, main Code Geass then. I'm surprised. Yeah.
And Code Geass is coming back actually.
Again?
Yeah, I think so.
I didn't really like when they've brought it back previously. I didn't like the offshoot movies and the bringing back of Lelouch. I thought that was bad.
Code Geass Lelouch of Resurrection.
Yeah, that's the
Came
original
out in
one.
2019.
Oh,
And
that's
then
a
there's
different one.
another one. I think there's another one coming out in the next couple of years. I saw it on one of the anime websites. But hey, you liked Code Geass?
I really liked it. I thought it was a great anime.
New anime project.
Bit messy. Bit messy.
What? New anime project announced in 2020. Code Geass Z of Capture. Z of the Recapture, sorry. Anime project is part of a 10-year plan for the franchise.
Oh, okay. Oh, boy. Okay, we're getting into it. I see. Okay. Someone's trying to build a franchise now. Fair enough.
CGCU, the Code Geass Cinematic Universe.
Yay! Damn, it's about time someone did it.
Yeah, that'll be
a thing.
Interesting.
It'll be a thing.
It will be a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Gundam. I'm not in love with it, and you actively dislike it. So
I actively dislike it. Yeah, because I feel like my time was wasted, and that's not a good thing. Let's see. I'm trying to find the image for the next show I'm going to talk about. Oh. There it is. Okay. I caught up and finished watching because it was on a massive hiatus for some reason, which I'm still not quite sure about. I finished watching Isekai Oji-san.
Have you on a hiatus?
Yeah. It was on, it stopped around episode 12. And it only kind of recently came back, and I was really annoyed because I like Isekai Oji-san. It's not the greatest anime ever, but I like the silly humor, and I really enjoy the Sega Mega Drive references. Have you seen any of it, Mikey?
I've seen a bit. It wasn't rocking my world or anything, but it seemed fun.
Yeah, it again, like I said, I wouldn't be like, oh, this is top 10 anime of the year or anything like that. But it's like, the humor's consistent. The guy really likes the Sega Mega Drive. I'm like, yeah, good for you. And he calls it a Sega Mega Drive as well, not a Genesis America.
Yeah, because he's in Japan and a right-thinking man.
Exactly, he's a good boy. And he's, of course, I don't understand that women, for some reason, find me sexually attractive, but they do, because he's an anime protagonist. But yeah, it's fun. I still enjoyed it. I've got through, I think I'm all up to date on that now. And I feel it's probably very much like Witch of Mercury. It's had 12 episodes, but it's just ended. It feels like it's part one of a season, so hopefully it'll come back in the future. I just been watching more of the classic 90s X-Men cartoon, and that's it in terms of viewing things. In terms of games, I finished Spooderman, Marvel Spooderman.
Hang on. How are you finding the classic show? Because I've heard people go back to it say it's one of those shows that you remember as being phenomenal. And then
I wouldn't say it's phenomenal, but I don't think it's bad. I think it tells its story pretty well. It's following the comics at a decent pace. The animation's, again, decent. It's better than Spider-Man because it doesn't reuse animation over and over again. It's actually fairly consistent with its animation quality. The voice acting cast is good. Does it have ups and downs? Yeah. There's some really bad episodes. Pretty much every episode that involves the Morlocks needs to be put in a bin. The Morlocks have always been shit. I have never heard nor never seen anything to convince me otherwise that the Morlocks are not a pile of shit and should never be talked about.
Yeah, they weren't great.
No, and the episode that they have in the first season where it's Scott is in his stupid cream-colored shirt, and him and Jean are stuck down in the subways, and the Morlocks. It's the meme episode where Wolverine's looking at the screen, and him and her and Scott are hugging in the background. That meme. I hate that episode. I remember seeing that episode originally on TV and being like, "Fuck me." Well, I didn't say "fuck me" because I was a kid, but I would have gone, "Gosh darn it, that is a crumdinger of an episode, my dearest."
I do declare.
Oh, heavens to Murgatroyd, I do declare. But no, I think it's good. I think it's still worthwhile watching. It's not as well told as something more modern like Wolverine and the X-Men, but I think there's some standout episodes. I think the Night of the Sentinels are good. Mr. Sinister stuff is good. The Apocalypse stuff is pretty good. It only kind of gets bad every now and again, with just a random episode here and there, but if you haven't seen it in a while, Mikey, give it a go again.
I'll have to.
I like it. Like I say, it might rush some stories because it's a cartoon for kids, so it does kind of push it along a little bit too quick sometimes. But yeah, I like it. like I said, I finished Marvel Spider-Man. All of its DLC is done as well. It's completed completely. The DLC is okay. It's not amazing. I said when I finished it felt very much like a 2 to 3 issue comic series. You know, Hammerhead comes to town. Hammerhead gets robot upgrade. Hammerhead becomes Robot Man. You team up with Silver Sable to beat him. Is it more in depth than that? Not really, but it's fine. I've started Miles Morales now. I've done a little bit of Miles Moralesing. I like the update to the UI they've done. The animation they've gave him is quite cool. You know, it's kind of what you would expect from like Into the Spider-Verse. He swings like he swings like an idiot. I'd say he swings like a child who's just discovered he can swing. So every kind of like he'll swing and the body will turn towards the camera and you're like, that's silly. Peter wouldn't do that. It's like, no, Peter's been doing this for 8 years or so at this point. Peter's swinging because he needs to get somewhere quickly. Miles is swinging because he's like, whoa, this is really cool. I'm enjoying this. The introduction of like the Venom blast and stuff like that, which I think is a power Spider-Woman had. The one in the red suit. Is it the one in the black suit?
I don't know about the black suit. It is something he had in the Ultimate Comics, and I believe it carried over to 616.
Yeah, no, I know he has it. I'm just saying it was a ported over power from another Spider person that wasn't originally his. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
It seems to be okay in the game. Like it seems like it's really useful. You can do LB and X, and he'll basically do like a rocket punch forward, knocking people out and knocking them off roofs, which is handy. Or he'll jump into the air and do like a splash damage, stunning people. People who are hit by the stun also take extra damage, stuff like that. They've improved the challenges a little bit. The challenges aren't just for like city tokens or like criminality tokens and stuff like that. You complete the challenge and you get a new move. So if you do the first traverse challenge, you get you know when you flip your webs onto a thing, you pull yourself towards it and you press the A button for boost. That's where you get that ability from. You don't actually buy it. You get it from doing the challenge map. And there's a few others that are like that as well. You start with pretty much all of the combat abilities that Spider-Man has by the end of the main game. You've got the pull the guns, pull the pistols, the throws there, the web swings there, the yank up into the air is there as well. He seems like he only has 4 gadgets though, which is kind of strange. Like he has the web thing, the web shot. He has a slightly better version of the spider drones, which makes holograms to go and punch people. And then I think there's like a trip mine or something like that. It's a mine that you can activate yourself. And there's another one as well, but I haven't unlocked those yet. It seems okay. You seem to be fighting the Tinkerer. But I have a feeling it's not going to be the Tinkerer that I know. Because I think the last time I heard of the Tinkerer was in Latveria working with Doctor Doom with the Molecule Man before Secret Wars, newer Secret Wars. I think that was the Tinkerer or the Mad Thinker. Or is the Mad Thinker DC?
The Mad Thinker is Marvel, but he's not the Tinkerer.
Okay, yeah, I think
the
this
Mad
is the
Thinker
problem.
Is the guy, if I'm remembering right, I remember in Earth Mightiest Heroes, there was a guy in Ant-Man's prison, and he was just like, I have done the maths. And he was just like, we are all going to escape. Why? I have done the maths, and he's got a robot brain.
Oh, no, right, okay. Tinkerer is not the guy I was thinking of. It's a different dude. There's a picture of the Tinkerer was in the Spider-Man movie. One of the Spider-Man movies. He looks like Rich Evans from Reddit. What's it called? Red Letter Media. It's this guy. I'll put it on screen. Yeah, I think he was in the first Spider-Man movie. It's this guy in his little denim shirt. Yeah, that's the Tinkerer. Yeah, there you go. Isn't that fun?
Neat.
Anything else that I've been up to? Yeah, work. I've been getting ready for me and Gruff talking about Spawn Dark Ages for Fluff and Hammer. I've also got in the works a few other guests to come on and talk about some comics. So that should be. I mean, I need to get the show done with Gruff first. Then I can move on and do those ones as well. But I've got a few different people who I haven't talked to in some podcasts for a while or at all. So that should be interesting.
That'd be interesting.
And I think I've finished taking all the notes for season 6 of Stargate. So I should be able to get that Moonbase woo woo up at some point in the future. Mikey, how's your side project going?
Yes. So for anyone who doesn't know, we've got a new little thing. in development at the moment. I recorded the first episode last night, actually.
Oh.
So that'll be with Chris for the first one, and then it'll be basically whoever comes on with anything else. But it's going to we're going to see how it plays out. Basically, still haven't got a name for it. I'm brainstorming a little bit, but
2 Mikeys, 1 cup. No.
So hopefully, I think it'll turn out fairly well. It was an interesting one. It was I won't say what it is yet. But no, it was a really interesting one to play out. It's something I think I need. So because let's do something Transformers related that's not news or reviews.
Sure.
So getting something else to talk about, exercising that bit of my brain, I think it's a positive.
You want to do discussions on different topics.
So first one is interesting and possibly controversial. Who knows? But we'll see how it plays out.
The movies are actually well written. There you go.
Welcome to Reverse World.
Me, Bizarro Mikey, love Transformer movies.
Michael Bay, world great director. So it'll hopefully be. I'll have the audio to Andy soon enough, and then hopefully it'll come together and we can have a cool show. I'm definitely being called semi-regular. It'll be made when I can make it.
Yeah, that's why there'll be probably a Patreon show and then go up afterwards live on places. Yeah.
And for comics and stuff, I'll come in at comics when there's something fun to talk about. But at the moment, I'm not actually.
Transformers? Oh God.
No, in general.
Oh, okay.
I kind of would be just for a bit of a. I've got one more comic show to record for the IDW Roundup, which is next week, and I could actually be really glad to just kind of take a break from regular comic reviews for a couple of months.
Well, the thing I'm doing is I'm basically going to these people and being like, for the most part, I'm going, what's your favorite Marvel comic? And then we go and talk about that because it'll get me to read potentially a comic I haven't read before. That's my idea.
In that case, I want to do a DC one.
No, I really I don't.
Well, actually, I'll give you 3 choices for DC.
Because it'll be Batman, and I don't want it.
I'll give you 3 choices. They're actually good ones.
Are they all Batman?
Nope. Oh well, okay. One is, but no. One is
no.
One is Bruce Wayne Murderer, which is the best Batman story ever told because it's the one that looked at Batman and said, "What the fuck?" And it's by the guy who wrote Captain America: Winter Soldier.
What? Ed
but
Brubaker?
It is basically the one that
movie,
it completely Brubaker. It completely undermines the entire point of modern Batman.
Okay.
By saying he's a crazy person, maybe we shouldn't allow that. The other would be Batgirl, the Cassandra Cain Batgirl, a volume of that. That's a very good book. Or 90s Return of Barry Allen.
The problem is I just don't really care about DC.
I know, but that's why I'm saying 90s. But also Marvel, I have some ideas, but I need to actually use my brain cells because I've been reading Flash, which is a really good Flash run at the moment, but I haven't been reading much Marvel. So
what's it about Barry?
Go to hell. So there is oh no, Kayson's got a model of her oh god. She's watching Witch of Mercury and a hair model based off of the big-haired girl from Earth. Choo-choo, yeah. That's terrifying. But yeah, Marvel, I was thinking, when I started reading comics, Marvel was the big thing for me, and then just completely died off just as it just became, every story you read became interrupted by events.
I mean, that's comics, isn't it?
Marvel started it, really.
Oh, yeah.
DC would have big events.
Definitely.
DC had big events, but they were never as intrusive until Marvel started making money.
Well, the reason I decided to do this was because I was sitting pooping on the toilet, as one does, believe it or not. And I was thinking, what do I prefer? And I think, overall, because my influence was drawn by the cartoons back in the day, Marvel had the biggest showing. DC had the better shows, without question. But the guys you had Batman, Superman, Justice League, and that was it. And even for Justice League, it was so diluted. It's like, you want to read a Wildcat story? Yeah, not really. Do you really want to read Black Knight or the Lone Ranger guy with the guns? No, not really. Do you want to read an Etrigan story, Andy? No, not really. Do you want to read Spider-Man? Yeah. Do you want to read Hulk? Yeah. Do you want to read Fantastic Four? Yeah. Silver Surfer? Yeah. I'd rather read some other cosmic stuff, but yeah, okay, sure. I like some of the cosmic stuff. And I was thinking again, like, do I prefer Marvel to DC? And it's not. It's definitely not based on the MCU, man. It's definitely more so based on of like those classic cartoons, and then other fun things like Earth's Mightiest Heroes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I got some things today. Not today, but I got some things over the week as well. I got Spirit Iron Knife from the G.I. Joe classified line. He comes with a burb. He's very good. He's got a cool sniper rifle. He's got some cool knives. Hair limits the head articulation a little bit. But his bird can either sit on his backpack or sit on his forearm. He's great. He's probably the only G.I. Joe I'm going to buy because fuck G.I. Joe generally. Right in the ass. But Spirit's really fucking cool. Also, Spirit could be a proxy for Billy from Predator, and Billy is a badass as well. No? Okay.
I'm just like, I'm not going to argue with Billy.
I thought you were. I wasn't sure. I was like, no promotion for Billy? Okay, Mikey, fair enough. I talked about having Zorana, didn't I? Yeah, I did. I'm sure I did. I also got the Red Skull. Good boy, the Red Skull. It's not a great photo of him. It's classic the Red Skull with his big old teeth showing. He has a more MCU-styled, more modern head, I suppose, but he's in it like his classic one green jumpsuit. I like him a lot. He has quite a few different hand accessories, decent articulation, and comes with the Cosmic Cube, which is not an Infinity Stone. It's not. Don't pretend it is. Don't lie to yourself. Cosmic Cube is something very different. It's the power of the Beyonders, which is a very different thing. It's actually stronger than the Infinity Stones. I'm not sure if the Cube is, though. No, the Cube isn't, but the Beyonders are. Either way, I like him. He's good. I have Zaymot or Tomax as well, because I needed the other brother, but he's, it's the same mold. It's just slightly reversed in terms of accessories. So, yeah. That's it. That's all I've been up to. That's all the things I got. I like the 2 figures too. I have plans for doing videos in the future, but I first need to figure out how to use my camera more effectively, and I need some more expressions for my PNG tuber model, which at some point will be worked on, and then I can start getting back into doing some toy videos and whatnot, which I'd look forward to doing. I like the idea of doing them again. Mikey, do you have any questions, or do we have any questions from people?
I was just checking. Nope, not this week.
No? Okay. Well, if chat has any, give us them now. Or, while we wait, Mikey, where can people find you on the internet if you want them to?
You can find me on Twitter with Irish Paleo, and if you want to contact us, moonbase2@gmail.com. Please send questions, or if when the new show comes up, please send suggestions for topics.
Oh my god.
And also you can contact us on the Moonbase 2 Twitter, on Libsyn, on Facebook, on Patreon, and various other places. Andy, what about you?
You can find me on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch as Decayed Andy. That's in a rotten corpse, not a 10-year period. You can find us on the Moonbase 2 forums, on iTunes, Facebook, Libsyn, on Twitter, as Mikey said, on YouTube as Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast. We're also on patreon.com/Moonbase2, and if you do $2 each month, you get From the Files of Teletran 2 a week early, which is going to happen this end of this week, potentially, if I get everything sorted. You get that a week early. And you also get the Moonbase Woo Woo, where we talk about non-transformery things in detail, or you get Mikey's show, whatever Mikey's entitled show is going to be called, whenever he thinks of one. He goes on there a week early as well. So that's it. Thanks everybody for coming on by. Thank you.
Be free.
Yeah, we're gonna go now. Mikey needs to probably do more work because he is a slave to work.
I need to go to bed, to be honest, because I'm up at 6 o'clock. So
lucky. Yeah, very cool. Well, until then, thanks everybody for coming on by. Hopefully we'll see you back again next week for the live stream. If not, just on my places, or Mikey will talk to you on Twitter, I guess.
I will follow you in the night.
There you go. Right. Thanks everybody for coming. Oh my god. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Ah.
Nah.